shirt and all that stuff, and had the cut off shorts and the cut off shirt and the flannel around the waist and all that. And man, that was great. And here I come out with a kilt that wasn't really a kilt because I actually do have some kilts, but they no longer fit around my waist.
Right.
So I had to get a Halloween skirt kilt and wear that, and it didn't look like a kilt. But it was funny though, and my Piper shirt at that time was too tight, so my nipples were poking out.
Yeah, I was there that night.
Oh, it was terrible. I had the wig on. It was fantastic.
And don't forget that he was once Simba as well.
Oh, we don't talk about that.
No, we can't talk about
I
that.
know.
We can hit on that.
I would always mention it. He goes, I heard that.
I'm actually using that picture as the thumbnail.
Yep, I know.
I do need to.
Have you met my younger brother, Fandil, yet?
Oh, my God.
Well, somewhat. I'm a big fan of his videos.
Thank you very much. That's basically how he is.
Came up with that all on his own.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. I saw that I had a mask, and I was like, what can I do to spice up the podcast?
Hey.
Oh, I know.
It works,
I put on the mask, and he just went to town. I became the heel.
I think it's funny because you'll comment as yourself on some of my stuff, and then you'll comment as Fandito on it, too.
Yep.
I think they're two different people. I've never seen.
I've never seen them in the same spot at the same time.
I do.
Yep.
I have like. There is a picture right around with both of y'all together.
Yep. I got that picture on my phone, too.
Do you have the mask with you?
Yes. No, I didn't bring it.
Actually, trying to have a.
I could bring it next time if you
ever
come back on a podcast.
That one. What wrestler is that mask?
It is
Lisa.
Phoenix.
Phoenix. Yeah.
Yep. On the cape it says Ray Phoenix. I just realized that.
I'm the one that had the Kalisto mask.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're trying to have him one actually made for him, like the Fandito mask.
We found that
We
picture.
talked to Bobby, Mike Woody. Is that what it is?
Oh, yeah, Mike Woody, yeah.
Mike Woody. We've been talking to Mike Woody, and he actually is supposed to be designing this one. But I don't know how.
He does a great job.
I don't know how encouraged he is by doing it, but we've talked to him a few times, and I've actually sent him the messages. I've actually sent him messages. So.
Are we live now?
No, we're not yet.
Oh, you just were a minute ago. Okay.
Oh yeah, we were a minute ago because I just did.
See if people were.
I did like a.
I wasn't talking about my nipples at the time.
I was only on for like 2 seconds.
Nah.
And I'll go back and I'll delete that because, but I have to do it because I have to test it because like there's sometimes when we go live and it's like, and it's like, oh, I have to fix something for like 20
I now
minutes.
have a complete outfit for Fandil. I got the wristband.
So we want to do let's do a test.
All right.
Okay. So everybody hear me?
Yep.
I can hear you.
Yep.
All right,
Check
Sean.
1 2. Check 1 2.
Everybody hear Sean?
Yep.
Yep.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
Everybody hear Fandito or
Yep.
Superman? All right, Bobby, go ahead.
Oh God, ease our suffering in this our moment of great despair. Yea, admit this good and decent woman into the flock and thine heavenly area up there. And Moab he laid us down by the band of the Canaanites. And yea, though the Hindus speak of karma, I implore you, give her a break.
Oh dear Lord.
The famous oh dear Lord.
Somebody want to get the
Lights.
get the lights. You come around this way a little bit, Bobby.
How close do I need to be to the
So
mic?
you're in. That mic picks up pretty good, so you just have to be like real kind of close to it.
Okay. About right here.
And you come around this way a little bit more, and Johnny come around, and you get put your seat right back here. That way people can see you a little bit above everybody.
That's right.
That's right.
All right, kind of like not on the cord.
Please don't
You
get
know,
on the
you're a
cord.
technical guy. You know not
Yeah,
to
you're
You
get
get on the cord,
guy.
Johnny.
The
Lee
technical
gonna
guy's
beat
going to
your
sit on the
ass.
cord. Come on, tech. All right.
When did Bobby become a preacher?
I think we're? I guess we're live. How long we been live?
snap.
Are we live?
Yeah.
Holy
we've been-
snap.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes, we are.
Yeah, we're live. All right,
And
guys.
we're live.
What's up, guys? This is Nice Guy Andy podcast. You know what we do. We was clowning around there a little bit and went live all of a sudden there without me even knowing. But you know what we do. We watch wrestling. It's Wednesday night. We're watching AEW Dynamite, and we got some special guests here. I'm going to turn it over to Sean Johns.
All right, guys. Sean Johns, Crystal Johns' wifey. Thank you for watching. I am Sean Johns, the Wrestling Encyclopedia. I'm going to shout out to my left-hand side, super fan,
What's up? What's up?
Johnny Lee. And we have a special guest this week. You might want to turn the camera around because it's not showing Bobby.
It's not showing.
It's not.
Oh.
It's not showing on here.
It's not showing. There we go.
We have a
There he
special
is.
guest in the
There's
studio
Bobby.
tonight.
There's
Lone
Bobby.
Wolf, Bobby Blade.
Yeah,
the
there we
man,
go.
the myth, the legend.
Very happy to be here tonight. This is my first podcast I've done in years now, so I'm a little bit nervous.
We
So just
appreciate it.
excuse me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Anybody in the chat? We have a little chat here. We read the comments. Anybody in the chat have any questions for Bobby?
Let them know.
Feel
let 'em
free
know.
to ask.
Guys, I'll
Hey, if y'all got anything to say to Bobby Blade here, say
Keep
it
it
now.
PG.
Keep it PG because our man, he don't like to cuss, and we would like y'all to give him.
Daniel
Your
Larson,
love.
Dizzle, what's up, buddy? You're in the studio. You're in the chat while Bobby Blade's in the studio. We're getting ready to watch AEW as soon as it starts it.
So, Bobby, I'm a real big fan of your YouTube page. I was on there the other day, and I was just scrolling to the bottom to see like which one was your first post on there, and that was just kept scrolling and scrolling. You've got a ton of stuff on there, guys. If anybody wants to go back and look at a ton of bunch of like pay-per-views, shows, local shows, guys, check out Bobby Blade's YouTube channel. Bobby, you want to tell us what the name of the actual YouTube channel is?
Yeah, just search Lone Wolf Bobby Blade and it'll come up. If you go to the playlist and everything, it has the videos separated by promotion and stuff, and
nice.
by genre as well. Like I've got some rant videos where I go crazy and holler and scream on there for a little bit. But
about a Coke
Yeah.
felt sock.
yeah,
I think you actually have to put quotations in, don't you?
yeah, it's
For
a
the long-
quotation Lone Wolf, quotation Bobby Blade.
Yeah, because I was trying to find you, and then I was like, oh shit, I forgot the quotations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so y'all have to use the quotations, but it's well worth going in there and checking Bobby
Dizzle
Blade's YouTube
says, "Hey,
channel out."
Bobby, how are you?"
What's up, Dizzle? I ain't seen you in forever, man. I would run into Dizzle at the half price books every now and then,
Yep.
looking at the video games.
Nice.
Very good.
So I'm over here just sharing to some of the groups so we can get some more viewers on here.
That's right.
So tell us your start of like, if everybody don't know, Bobby Blade is a Kentucky indie wrestling legend around here, and he's been in the wrestling business 30 years or so. What?
29.
29 years, almost going on his 30 year of being in the wrestling community, and he was at the New South wrestling show here recently. We got to interact with him and take some pictures with him. He was taking pictures with everybody. So Bobby's been in the business for a long time. Who'd you start with, Bobby, and where'd you train to wrestle?
Well, I started with a group called the Southern Wrestling Alliance. It was here in Kentucky. However, I didn't get started with my trainer. There was a little kickstart that happened there. I had spoke with handsome Jimmy Valiant about coming to his school in Shawsville, Virginia. And my buddy, Jimmy Lamb, that I went to school with him, and we're old school buddies. And
Okay.
everything. Jimmy Lamb. He was the guy that fixed the ring at New South.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
cool because I was like, some old guy just came out here and fixed the ring, and I was like, I was so impressed. I was like, thanks that dude. And like,
Yeah, that's Jim and Jimmy Lamb.
well, thanks, Jam and Jim and Lamb. That was awesome of you to fix that ring because, like, those guys didn't know what they were doing. He came out there and just jumped on it and was like, went right in spot. And I was like, it was awesome, dude.
But
Hey.
I went to school with Jimmy Lamb forever, and he was in it, and his brother was in it.
So
and his
wrestling
brother-in-law.
school. You was in wrestling school with
Yeah.
him. Okay.
No, regular school.
Oh, regular school, high school.
And he had already started. He had started wrestling in high school.
Yeah.
And so I told him, I said, please get me in the business. Please get me in the business. I
Yeah.
love it so much. Please, I'll do anything.
Right.
Just get me in the business.
Yeah.
He's like, okay. And he just kind of kept, putting it off. So finally, there was an opportunity to meet Jimmy Valiant. And handsome Jimmy Valiant, big Memphis legend and all that stuff. So I go meet him. I talk to him about coming to his wrestling school and everything, and he gives me all the information and gives me the price and all that stuff. And I go back home, and I'm so excited. I called Jimmy Lamb. I said, guess who I met tonight? He's like, who? And I said, handsome Jimmy Valiant. He said, oh, really? That's cool. And I I said, yeah, he gave me all this information and everything about his wrestling school and told me how much it was. And he said, well, how much was it? And I told him. And he says, don't do anything just yet. Give me about a week. So about a week later, Jimmy Lamb's brother-in-law at the time, his name was Cecil Voiles, he wrestled under the name Mr. Irresistible Terry Embry.
Okay.
Yeah.
He calls me up, and he says, hey, this is Terry Embry, blah, blah, blah. Jimmy told me that you met with Jimmy Valiant. This is what he told you and all that stuff and everything. And he said, I would love to train you myself and everything as a favor to Jimmy.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Heck yeah.
well, cool, okay.
Yeah.
So I meet up with him, with Terry Embry and everything. He comes to the house, talks to me, has me sign some waivers and some papers and all that stuff. And he starts training me the next week. And train. It was like the day after I graduated high school.
Oh, okay.
I started
so you started training the day after. Okay.
Yeah. I trained for quite a while, for several months. Ended up going up to Scottsburg, Indiana. I'm still 17 years old, so I do not have a Kentucky license at the time because you have to be 18.
I have to be 18 in Kentucky, yeah.
So Scottsburg, Indiana, they didn't have licenses you had to deal with or anything like that. No athletic commission or nothing like that at the time. I don't know if they do now or not. But
Yeah. I heard that you don't have to still.
Yeah.
I think that's what Zodiac said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we went up there. I was not planning on wrestling that night, and somebody didn't show up, and they said, hey, how about you go ahead and have your first match tonight?
So how long was you training until you got your first match?
I was probably about 3 months at that.
3 months.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Austin Diamond says, look at that legend.
What's up, Austin?
Hey, congratulations, Austin, on your first match, man.
Yeah, Dizzle said, I remember when Bobby had the I'm Not a Role Model t-shirt in case he does.
Hey, I still wore that until it wouldn't fit anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
So you had your first match at 3 months of training.
Yeah, 3 months of training. I wasn't very good. I will admit that.
Yeah, yeah.
I was a shy kid, like super shy. I wouldn't say anything to anybody. So for me to even get in the ring was monumentous in itself. Because it's just, it's something that nobody expected me to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was, the first hurdle that I overcame. And there was a lot of hurdles over my years.
Yeah.
So I got in the ring. I had like a 4-minute and 23-second match with Mr. Irresistible Terry Embry. He beat me. He had to hit me with a chain.
Okay,
So-
yeah. You was tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But had my first match. When you go back to watch it now, it's awful.
Yeah. You have it? You have it
Yeah,
taped?
it's on. It's
Oh,
on
wow. It's
on the
your
YouTube.
first match is on the
Yeah. It
his
was-
first match is on the YouTube channel, guys. Go back and check it
Hey.
out.
Yeah, it was Wednesday night, August the 7th,
Yeah.
1991.
Okay, cool.
And then
That's
I
a-
did a battle royal later that night and everything.
So you had 2 matches that night.
2 matches that night.
Heck yeah.
Scared to death.
I bet.
I was walking to the ring and I didn't know what to do. I was terrified because, like I said, I was a shy kid.
Yeah.
Very shy person. And once I got to the ring and everything, it was like I was looking at all these people and I had to cut a promo very first thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I had to explain, where the guy was that was going
Supposed to wrestle.
Yeah,
That was originally supposed to be there.
right.
Yeah.
So I had to explain what happened with him and everything, car trouble and so on and so forth. And I didn't know what I was doing, so I'm saying it. I'm trying to articulate it the best that I could at the time, and I came off as a heel,
Oh, okay.
and I was a babyface.
Oh, wow.
So immediately they're booing me in my first match. So
Turn heel already.
yeah, first
You're like, I
thing.
kind of like this
right
bullshit.
out the gate, right out the gate. But so I could do my first match, do my second match, battle royal later that night, and it was the most exhilarating feeling after I got, after the referee finally hit the third count
Yeah.
in the first match. It felt like I accomplished something.
Yeah, my
huge.
first match. I got my first match under my
Yeah.
belt. That's
Oh, yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
And your first big win.
Yeah. So the thing is if you want to blame somebody for me being in the business, you got to blame Jimmy Lamb. He's the one. He's solely responsible.
Or the
for
guy that
getting-
didn't show up that night.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You know who that was?
It was a guy named. He later was called the Funky Cowboy. He was the Black Stallion at the time.
Okay, the Black Stallion, the
Yeah.
Funky Cowboy. Thanks, Black Stallion and Funky Cowboy, for giving Bobby Blade his first shot.
And thank you
So
too,
he-
Jimmy Lamb.
Yep.
Yeah, Jimmy Lamb. We appreciate you, Jimmy Lamb, because you came out there and just jumped on that. He's like, looked underneath the ring, and he just came out and he just jumped in the ring and jumped up and down, and that thing went right in spots, and I was like, yeah.
Dizzle said he trained for about a year before his first match. It was a battle royal and got Hoganed by Max, and he got throughout. And that was Dizzle's first
Well,
match.
the thing was I was trained at that point by Mr. Irresistible Terry Embry.
Yeah.
But then when I went to go to work for a group called the Mountain Wrestling Association,
They
with
trained
them-
you, retrained you.
Yeah, they retrained me, and that was a guy named Dale TNT Mann that
Okay.
retrained me there.
And what was that organization called again?
Mountain Wrestling Association.
Oh, Mountain Wrestling. You spent a lot of time at Mountain
A
Wrestling.
lot of time. I worked
Yeah.
for the MWA for 18 years straight.
Oh,
Yep.
wow. Okay, cool.
That's
So,
where I became affiliated with
you
you. That's
wasn't
where
just-
I've known you from.
You wasn't just a wrestler there. You did a lot of other things there, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, the thing is the MWA. When I was working for the Southern Wrestling Alliance, we would run shows every now and then.
Yeah.
But we would also take other bookings, out of state and other places in Kentucky and stuff like that. And so we were traveling, we were staying busy and stuff like that. But when you went to the MWA, it was a whole different ballgame because they had their own schedule. Because at that time,
Yeah.
the MWA was being ran as a mini territory.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
spring and summertime, when the school was out and all that stuff, we were working 5 nights a week.
Okay.
And when it's fall and winter, this is under Dale TNT Mann when he still owned it. Fall and winter, we would scale it back to 4 nights a week, and we would branch out, and we ran in 7 different states at the time and everything. So we were traveling and all that stuff. And there's a misconception by a lot of the younger guys that the older guys around here didn't travel, and that's far from the truth because
Yeah.
we absolutely did.
Yeah.
So
Andrew
we-
Dew Browning, what's up, buddy? Thanks
What-
for watching.
What's up, dude?
What's up, Doe?
He's always been coming to wrestling.
He had,
Ever
a,
since
Yes, he
I-
has.
he had a great interview the
I
other
love
night with.
that.
I think he was
Adrian
born at a
Alexandra.
wrestling show because he's always been on one.
I turned over Andrew's live, and he had Adrian Alexandra,
Alexander on.
and I was like, "Cool, this is awesome." And so I tuned in, and we end up getting Alexander on the show now. So
Yeah.
Andrew Browning, you're in with Bobby Blade.
yeah.
Well, that's
You know
right.
who he is.
So you were what were you talking about?
The MWA.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
NWA.
guys
Yeah, y'all were
traveling.
traveling.
Yeah.
You were working 6 days a week, 5
we
days a
worked
week.
Five.
5 days a week.
5
during
days a week.
during the spring and summer.
So y'all were making pretty good money then, probably.
It was not bad. I
Yeah.
cannot complain.
Yeah.
When Danny Fargo bought it from Dale Mann,
Uh huh.
Dale. I don't know if you know who Danny Fargo is.
I do.
I do. He's a wrestler, right? I mean.
yeah.
Yeah, he's
He worked
classic
for.
name around this area.
Yeah, he worked for the MWA for years. He also worked in Memphis and ICW, and he's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
And he bought the MWA from Dale Mann.
Yeah.
So when he bought it, we dropped a day off of each week.
Uh huh.
So it's like spring and summer, instead of working 5 days, we were working 4 days. And in fall and winter, instead of working 4 days, we were working 3 days.
Threes. Okay.
So it scaled back and everything. And we also went under Dale. We had an out west tour.
Uh huh.
And before I came along to the MWA, the guys would go, the whole crew would go out west in the western states.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they would stay like a month.
That's
And
cool.
They would work different shows every single
So
night.
how far out was like California?
Not California, but right
Yeah.
next to it.
Yeah, like
And everything.
Nevada and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was fortunate enough to go on the very last out west tour, and that was pretty cool. It was a very scaled down
Yeah.
at that time. I only went out for a week.
Yeah.
But I went out for a week, and we were in North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska.
Okay. That
And-
sounds cool.
Yeah, and that was cool. So I mean,
So
we
how many
did-
matches? Like 3 matches?
No, we did
3 days?
Yeah, no, we did 5 days.
5 days. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we did 2 days traveling, 5 days in a row,
Uh huh.
and then 2 days coming back and everything. And then we got back on our regular schedule.
So how many
Daphne,
how many
yeah,
shows
we've
was
seen
that?
you at shows before. Thank you, Daphne, for watching. You're in with Bobby Blade in the studio.
Hello, Daphne.
Hello, guys.
The man of the hour.
Where were we at?
We were in the South. You were doing
We're
how many?
talking
I
about
asked how many
the
shows did y'all do?
Oh,
up
yeah.
top?
the Western States tour.
Yeah, we did 5 shows that week.
5 shows.
Yeah,
Cool.
So it was cool. I went out with a guy named Crusher Bones, as who I traveled with.
Yeah.
And we went out there and everything. We stayed in his van for the first 3 days, and then we ended up, saying heck with this, and we got a hotel room the rest
So
of the
one
time.
day you were in high school. The next day you were a wrestler,
training wrestling.
training wrestler.
that
But
right.
like 3 months later, you was a wrestler. Like
Yeah.
you was in the damn ring, like actually having matches.
Yeah, my initial training was
Yeah.
supposed to be longer, but
Yeah.
because somebody didn't show up. And
Yeah, exactly.
But the thing
It's
is,
all
though,
about timing.
yeah, I did start in '91. However, in '91 I only did 2 different shows.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but then '92, it started picking up, and then '93 I was on a regular schedule, and then '94, it was crazy.
So '94 was
to
a
the
big
races.
year for you.
Yeah, '94 is when it started getting really crazy.
And Andrew Dew Browning says, I'm going to be creating Bobby Blade tomorrow on 2K.
Oh yeah.
Ah,
On 2K, that's cool.
Is he
Yeah.
on Are you on Xbox or are you on PlayStation?
Xbox.
Boo.
You better him not to make you a Simba.
Hey, somebody actually made me a Simba
I
on
remember that.
on 2K19. Did you see it?
Yeah,
I
that's
did.
cool.
Oh man, and it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. I remember that.
So Simba was one of your characters, and how many different characters did you have?
Oh jeez. Let's see, I had Pretty Boy Bobby Blade.
Is that your first one?
Yeah.
Okay, pretty boy.
I had Pretty Terrific Bobby Blade, Bodacious Bobby Blade, and those were all pretty much the same kind.
Yeah, same character.
Just
like
different names.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
cocky, pretty boy type. Well, I'm not a pretty boy now, obviously. But
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, exactly. You're not.
Jeez,
You're
Pete.
ugly as hell now.
Oh my gosh, the treatment.
no, right?
You better treat him right.
I think you're
Hey,
handsome.
none of us are handsome around here, so
True.
Speak for yourself.
Let's see.
except for Sean.
I had Pretty Boy Bobby Blade, Pretty Terrific Bobby Blade, Bodacious Bobby Blade. I had the King of Rock and Roll Bobby Blade.
Nah.
Would you bring out a guitar?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was
That was
great.
great.
It was
Smash
great.
people with the guitar?
It was it had an electric guitar, so I didn't smash anybody.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But I would hit them with it.
Uh huh.
But I wouldn't break the guitar.
That's a
Yeah,
picture that
yeah.
I used to promote you on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, budget was low. Don't break the guitar.
But it was funny because I would come out
Andrew
with.
Browning, of course you're handsome, brother.
Hey, thank you, man. I would come out with an amp and all that stuff and everything, and I'm so glad I'll be performing my song for
Could
you
you
later
play?
tonight. No, I couldn't sing or anything. I can't wait to play for
That
you later
even
tonight.
makes the gimmick better.
Well, the thing is when I would come out to perform, as I was getting ready,
Something would always happen.
yeah, as I was getting ready to strum the guitar, somebody would come up with a letter, hand it to me. Hold on a second, y'all. Open up the letter. I'd read it. Oh, it's the fire marshal saying that my amp is not, regulation
Regulation.
amp, blah 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 blah.
I can't play tonight.
So we can't. Unfortunately, we can't have the concert tonight and everything. But maybe next time, and then the next time something else would happen and stuff.
Was you a heel at that
Yeah.
point?
Oh,
Okay.
That's the best too, because the
Really,
heel can get
Dizzle?
away
I'm the
fast.
Silver Herald Banshee. Damn, Dizzle. Thanks, brother.
This is going in on Sean all the time.
He did. Matty Fox, thanks for watching, girly.
What's
Thank
up,
you
Maddie?
for tuning in, Maddie.
Maddie
We're
the
with
Fox.
Bobby Blade, the lone wolf.
The lone wolf.
I'm just an old guy.
Not to us, you're not. You're still,
you're a
still
legend.
awesome.
Old guy means legend.
So
by the way.
does Psycho Sam Cody know you're stealing his look?
He does not, but I love Psycho Sam Cody. to death. He is amazing. I mean, he'll
I
tell
was-
you. Have you ever met? Do you know who Psycho Sam Cody?
I don't know.
You know who he is. Do you know who he is?
I've met
Yes.
him.
Oh man,
I've seen him.
he will tell you about Germany, and you don't know what he's saying. He'll be like, "Oh, kid, Germany, currently,
Oh my goodness.
amazing guy." I had a bunch of street
Yeah.
fights with him. We had some great street fights, and Sam is. I think he's one of the most underappreciated talents
Yeah.
of all time, like in Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana area and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I learned so much from Sam just doing street fights with him and everything.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he was cool.
So shout out to Sam.
Sam Cody. Psycho
Sam Cody.
Sam
Psycho
Cody.
Sam Cody. Shout out. Is he still around?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great guy.
Come on the show sometime, man. If you're close, we'll have you on.
Yeah, he used to do jobs at WWF and WCW and everything.
wow.
Great guy.
Really?
Yeah, you can find some of his his squash matches and everything on YouTube and everything.
We haven't even said anything about this AEW. I guess Wardlow just beat up somebody. Who did he beat up?
Orange Cassidy.
Beat up Orange Cassidy, I guess.
Nobody wants to hear about them.
I didn't
It's
know
all
that.
about
We got a
Bobby
damn
Blade.
legend in the house. We don't
Bobby
even find
Blit.
these guys.
They're
that,
doing Pac defending the AEW All-Atlantic title against Takeshita.
was that in Japan?
No, it was another company called Rev Pro,
Yeah.
but he's still defending that belt, so it's
Yeah.
the Brutalizer.
I didn't realize they already crowned the champion.
Yeah,
they
that
did.
was done at Forbidden Door.
Forbidden Door. Yeah,
yeah.
that was the big pay-per-view.
We did a show here. Speaking of crowning a champion, we have another title that's just for everybody in the podcast crew. What we do is similar to what y'all do when y'all Michael J. Cornette, Max, and all would do for the Royal Rumble, draw numbers and all that
Yeah.
stuff. What we do is we come in and we just kind of, before the match starts, we kind of predict who's going to win each match, and we chalk up points. It's similar to what y'all do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So right now, I am the current Nice Guy Indie Podcast digital media champion.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we watch pay-per-views, and then they rack up the points, and whoever wins at the end of the night takes the championship home with them.
Oh, that's cool.
So he don't ever bring the belt.
Yeah.
You're the
You
champ. You
tell
got to
me
bring the
not-
damn
you
belt.
tell me
Tell
not
him
to
if
bring
he's
the
a champ, he's got to bring the
Okay.
belt everywhere he
Okay.
goes.
I'm telling you, even if it was a non-title match or something, I always had the belt with me.
Yeah,
That's
you got to.
right.
You take that.
All right.
You take it to the bathroom
Look
with
at
you.
Zodiac.
Yeah.
Hey, look at
I
Zodiac.
can't take it with me to work, but I guess I could.
You take it to work with you. You take it to the bathroom with you.
Look at our podcast.
Don't tempt me, I'll do it.
So Zodiac, you were there when Zodiac won our belt.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was awesome, man. We were so put over that night that was just
great.
We got to get in the ring
And then also on commentary, we had Scott Diamond and Aaron Tiny Rose were putting us over on that, which, because I actually, after we did the show, I went home, immediately went on Prep Spin and paid the $15 to watch it. I'm like, guys, they put us over on commentary.
Yeah. Yeah, we supposed to have Aaron Rose on, but he canceled on us. And,
He had to work.
He had to work, and hopefully he'll come back on.
Hey, he's
some
got to
point.
pay the bills, and my gas
yeah, gotta
prices
pay the
going up
bills.
as high as they are. You got to work when you
So
can.
Anthony Presley came in and was supposed to be with him too, but Anthony came by himself and put over the pay-per-view.
I'll tell you what, that was the first time I ever met Anthony Presley. Was that night of
Yeah.
the New South show. I was very impressed
Oh,
with
yeah.
everything. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
It's very professional.
Yeah.
He just seems like the first day I shaked his hand, he seemed like your best buddy. You know what I'm saying? He's like,
Yeah.
he's like, yeah, he's so enthusiastic. And then he came on the podcast and he was like, well, I don't know how long I'm gonna be here. And he said, I'll probably only stay here about a half an hour. He ended up staying over, 2.5 hours almost. And then,
Yeah.
then we just all been pretty good buddies ever since.
But then
you know?
he was also like that when he called in the week before.
Yeah, he calls in on the show. I'm surprised he's not watching tonight. And then
doing
me and
something
him,
with the kids.
I call him every once in a while. We sit on the phone and talk about an hour every once in a while. And
Yeah.
he's just a really cool guy. Just really cool guy. Just wants to put over everybody. Just like
And
you
during
know,
the shows, he's not sitting in the back and letting it happen. He's out there shaking hands. If a fan goes home from a New Chef show not happy, it's the fan's fault because he does a great job, puts on a great show. Really, like he did that out of respect for Jim Chadwick. We all know him and love him. You've had the privilege of working with Jim. I've had the privilege of sometimes working securities at shows with Jim. And I'd like to think during the latter years of his life before his untimely passing that him and I become friends, because I could, if I saw something on wrestling and I didn't understand it, I could go to Jim, message him. I'm like, okay, I know you're watching Raw. What is going on here? And he broke it down for me where I could understand it.
Yeah.
Like when Jericho was coming out there, when he wasn't saying nothing for like a good month or two.
Oh, when he returned that one time?
Yeah, when he turned that one time. Yeah. When he returned that one time and wasn't talking, just like start to talk and then got psyched and then wouldn't say nothing. Still had you going. I'm like, what's he doing? He goes, he's trolling. He basically broke it down where I could understand it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Jim knew everything, man. He was a fountain of information. I mean,
Yes, he was.
he could tell you, he could explain anything to you that you would want to know in wrestling.
Yes.
I learned when I was a manager, that's who I looked to for all my teachings and
Yeah.
stuff. He taught me everything that I knew about managing, and
Yeah.
I think I did pretty good at it.
Yeah.
But that's all thanks to Jim.
Yeah.
You know, without Jim to teach me and lead me through managing stuff like that, I
Yeah.
wouldn't have been half as successful as I was with it.
I wish that I had gotten to meet him. Believe it or not,
Yeah.
I was able to put together that wardrobe that I wore that night because I watched the videos.
He just went to
on
YouTube and looked up Jim
Really?
Chadwick.
Yep.
And Amanda was impressed. Was like, "You mean he's never seen a Jim match?" I said, "Never knew it."
Yeah.
We just found out Jim Chadwick. He goes to YouTube and looked it up. Amanda was like, that night, it was just a great night honoring Jim at the New South show.
And believe it or not, that jacket.
And who are we, just lowly paupers, just be asked to be part of the show? We didn't
Yep.
ask to be part of it. Anthony Preston was like, "Y'all want to come on to the show? We'll put the belt on the line." At first, when he said it, we thought, "Yeah, okay, nice, Rev. He's just kidding
Not
with
me.
us."
I knew that he'd
And-
be serious because I was
well,
watching at home.
Yeah, you weren't with us that day, and then he got us in there, got us involved, and he's like, "Okay, what you gonna do is this, that, and the other. We'll get you." Okay. And that's exactly what happened.
I mean, Sean made sure that before we entered that ring, we wiped our feet on the apron because that's a customary thing.
Oh, I
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And that's appreciated by all the guys.
Yup.
when I was training, it took me one time not to wipe my feet getting into the ring. I'm not gonna give a shout out, but it was an old school guy. Wasn't the blue, wasn't the red, wasn't the yellow. It was a green. I'm not gonna mention which green, but I did not wipe my feet. I'd learned that lesson very much quickly. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
It was a lesson I'm proud to say I've earned.
Yeah.
So even just getting into the ring, when I was tearing down the ring at KCW, I wiped my feet just doing that.
Yep, because that's a sacred.
It's a sacred
guard.
thing, and I learned that lesson, and thank you, sir. May I have another? I was not hit, but
You probably would have rather been hit.
I would have probably rather been hit than had to get down in a duck walk position and walk twice around the ring. While everybody else was in the ring taking bumps, training, I had to walk around the ring twice because I didn't wipe my feet that time. Oh, I learned my lesson. I am proud of that I got that privilege.
Yeah.
I know I would have been too.
Yeah, that's an old school tradition and everything,
Yeah.
and like Johnny was saying and everything. You know, it's sacred ground,
Yes, it is.
and that just shows respect for the people that are working that night and the people that came before you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, yeah, and stuff like that is noticed, like when you do it and everything like that, and it's appreciated.
Yeah.
Yep, and it's tradition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm a big tradition guy.
Yes,
know.
you are.
So I'll love anything old school stuff like that.
That's why I enjoy Kentucky wrestling because when I pay attention to wrestlers before they enter the ring,
Yeah,
the new young wrestlers they make me happy because they wipe their feet on the apron before they enter that ring.
yeah,
I didn't
greatly
realize that a
appreciated.
lot of guys in WWE did that, but then I went back and watched their entrances. I'm like, oh, they have.
yeah.
Like Scott Hall. Say what you will about Scott Hall. Rest in peace, sir. He did it, and I didn't realize that. But he did it subtly where you couldn't tell, like he was just doing it. And then I saw William Regal did it, and even Big Mark Henry did it. I'm like, wow. Okay, I've got some. I thought the wrestler that taught me that was just. At first, I thought he was picking on me. Then I've had a chance to go back and realize that my behavior that night was not. I was not up to par.
Even the
And
Undertaker.
I think the
was.
guys that were training me, were in charge of training that day. I think they got an earful from that guy at a KCW show. I think they got an earful for me not wiping my feet. But I learned my lesson. I thank the guy for teaching me the lesson, and he probably could have done a lot worse. But
No.
I'm thankful for that opportunity.
And another guy that wipes his feet that nobody realizes is the Undertaker. Because if you pay attention to his entrance, when he lifts up his coat and he gets onto the apron, you can see him wipe his feet just before he enters that bottom rope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy. Yeah.
Believe it or not, I used to not do it until I went to work for the MWA, and Dale Mann pulled me to the side, and he said, let me tell you something, boy. When you get up in my ring, you're going to show respect to the guys that came before you. You're going to wipe your feet. And I said, okay. And Dale was a big, intimidating mountain guy.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Shout out to Dale TNT, man. Wasn't he mentioned in Hillbilly Jim's
Yes.
Hall of Fame speech?
Yes.
I was
Is he
like,
still
I think I
around?
called.
He's
I think,
not. He passed away about 5 years ago.
So Jimmy Valiant still around there?
Yeah, Jimmy
yeah,
Vang's
he's
still
still
He
alive.
is?
Yeah.
Okay. Is he still around Kentucky, or where's he at?
He's in Virginia.
He's in Virginia.
Yeah.
Based out of Virginia, but he does come here occasionally. But I don't know since the pandemic started or something. I don't know.
I know he was doing his retirement tour.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he...
How old is he?
He is getting ready to turn 80, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And he's still like wrestling?
I think he just finished up. I'm not positive on that.
Wow, that's
But,
crazy.
but he, as of last year, he was still doing it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What's Eddie Kingston doing?
Cutting a promo.
Why's he?
As only he can.
He's with Ruby Soho. Like,
Ruby Soho, and that's... I don't know if that's Santana or Ortiz. I don't know
that's
which
of
one
them.
from
Yeah, he
the...
cut all his hair off. Yeah,
I think
When
that's
they do
what it
that?
is.
they had him and Jericho had a hair versus hair match, and they cut his hair.
Yeah, apparently
he lost the match.
He had those crazy ass.
It was shortly before the Blood and Guts match.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Kenosuke, I can't pronounce his first name, but his last name is
A lot of-
Takeshita, but it looks like Takeshita.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
guy's a
That's
hell of
what it
a
looks
wrestler.
like.
This guy's a hell of a wrestler, dude.
he really is.
Yeah, he is. Those New Japan guys are so
Some of 'em are
impressive
good.
with their wrestling. They
Yes.
just
Especially him.
so dedicated and so
Yeah.
just on the money with it. Like I haven't seen one yet that has had a bunch of I haven't seen one yet that has had a bunch of botches. You know what I'm saying? But
Well,
so tell us a crazy story.
yeah.
Tell us one of the crazy stories from Bobby Blades. I know
Talk
you got
about
a
your
thousand
real
of them probably.
first promo. You've told that story before. I've heard you say it, but I want to hear it again.
Are you talking about with Danny Fargo?
It was Danny Fargo that stuck the mic in your face.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Dale.
No.
I know Danny
Oh, okay.
Fargo.
Then I.
We were doing I was doing a match with Sean Casey.
Yeah.
And I was in the middle of a feud with him. And
What year is this?
96 maybe?
96.
Yeah. Sean's been around a long time.
yes,
yeah.
he has.
And he's super guy. But we were doing a thing that required a promo after the match. And I wasn't a promo guy at that time
Yeah.
at all. I mean, I would
Bobby
be out there-
Rassel, shout out. Thank you.
I wasn't a promo guy at that time at all. You know, in my real life, I speak like I do now, where I kind of like chop things up, and then I kind of like stutter sometimes.
Yeah.
But in a promo, I'm boom, ba ba boom, ba ba boom, ba ba boom, ba ba boom, and I just fire it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I never repeat myself. I never stop. I never take a breath. I never stutter.
In the zone.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so I'm dreading this promo. We're doing the match, and I'm beat all to death, and I'm wore out, and I'm just ready to go to the back.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to the back. Here comes Danny Fargo, and he goes, "Well, sink or swim. Here you go."
Oh wow.
And I was like, "Oh!" And I just started going yakety 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 yak 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 yak.
So he's the one.
Yeah. And then he pulls it away. He pulls it away, and he looks at me and goes, "That was excellent."
Oh wow.
And I was like, "Really?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why haven't you done that this whole time? And
Oh
I'm like,
wow.
I didn't know I could.
Yeah. I'm surprised myself.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the first time I ever cut my first real
Right.
promo.
Yeah.
There was a time in SWA when I cut a lengthy promo, but it was me going slow with it, stuttering and stuff like that, and and not being able to really keep a coherent thought. But that was my first promo where I actually made sense. Was when Fargo put the microphone in my face.
So what made it different for you? You think?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Maybe
you just,
on the spot.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Just kind of like just had the fire down inside
Like
of
you
you.
said.
Like
Yep.
you just came out with it.
Sink or swim.
Sink or
Yep.
swim. Yeah.
Bobby's like me.
You still haven't figured it out, but you've had 1,000 perfect promos since then, probably.
Yeah. Well, the thing is at one point there was a group called the United Wrestling Federation, which is the group that he went to in Georgetown at the time. MWA used to run Georgetown weekly and Sundays, along with everywhere else. But once MWA left out of there, UWF came in and was running a different building and all that stuff. They would book the first match of the night with somebody who they knew wasn't going to be there on time.
Oh wow.
Yep.
And they would come to me and say, well, Bobby, we need you to stall for some time.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I'm like, how long? And they're like, we don't know. Just look over at Dale Bass. He was the ring announcer at the time.
Yep.
He'll give you the high sign. And when he gives you the high sign, you end the promo and, come back and everything, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, what do I talk about? And they're just like, oh, just whatever.
Whatever you want to.
I'm like,
I remember.
really? You don't?
Some of those were pretty fun.
I said, you want me to talk about somebody? If you want to. Well, what are we getting to? What's the business of it? What's the point of it? I just kill time. I'm like, really? They're like, yeah, just kill time.
Yep.
I'm like, okay. So I would go out on UWF shows, and
You really would.
for 30 minutes, I would cut this nonstop promo where I would just rant and rave about nothing. One night I rapped Ice Baby.
I remember that. I was there that night.
Hey, we was going to ask you to do that tonight.
yeah, we were.
One
we
night,
wish with it nice baby, not ice.
Right.
One night, I laid face down in the ring and proceeded to tell the crowd if they didn't like what I was saying, they can plant smoochies on me bum.
Yep.
There was one time I was out there with Jared Sloan in Burgundy, and I told Jared to get a chair, and we would go around the ring on the outside on the floor and take the promo on tour.
Yeah.
And what I would do is I would sit the chair in front of somebody and sit down
Cut a
directly
promo.
in front of them. So I'm sitting down directly in front of somebody. I'm pointing in their face, and I'm cutting a promo on J.R. Rock while I'm doing it. Who J.R. Rock was their champion at the time.
Yep.
And I'm cutting the promo on J.R. Rock the entire time while I'm looking at somebody in the crowd directly in their face, sitting
was
down.
great.
And I would say something. I would talk for a minute or two, and then I would move the chair. Time to move to the next location, Jared. And he would pick up the chair. He would move to another location in front of somebody. I'd sit down, and I continued where I'd left off. And we did that all the way around the ring, and it was amazing. I had creative freedom to do anything
Right.
on promos I wanted to do at the UWF.
Yeah.
The best.
Yeah,
The
I'm-
guy,
Oh, he did.
Guys in the
He-
WWE are fighting for that every day. So
Yes.
you were blessed with that.
Yeah.
You gotta think Bobby's like me. We started out shy and nervous, weren't able to do any of
Right?
this,
Yeah.
and now look at them.
Yeah.
You can't make them stop.
Yeah, exactly.
I also remember when UWF out in Georgetown was running an all women's wrestling show. The first company ever to do it.
Yeah.
Before TNA, Impact, whatever you want to call it this week.
Some of the
WWE
women-
did it. Yes. But
Women steal the show.
Georgetown,
sometimes.
Kentucky was the first one to ever do it.
Yep.
They were doing it.
And it
Well,
was great. Oh,
Bobby,
sorry, go ahead.
Bobby did not want to miss out on a payday. So I'll let you take over.
My role on the women's shows was that I was the He-Man woman hater.
Yes.
I would always, women don't belong in wrestling and blah, 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 and they should be in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant making sandwiches for the men, and so on and so forth and blah, blah, blah. Well, it came to a point where Felony Fox, who was co-owner of the company, came to the ring and everything. I was doing all this, women don't need to be in the business and blah, blah, blah. She comes to the ring and she's like, you're such a piece of trash and blah, 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 and so on and so forth. And, why don't you just put your money where your mouth is and face me, at the Vicious Vixen show. It was called Vicious Vixen.
Yeah.
Face me at the Vicious Vixen show. And I kind of laughed it off and I said, are you serious? I'm a man. I will destroy you. I will beat you to a pulp and so on and so forth and blah, blah, blah. So we're building for the match and everything, and it's getting really, really heated. And we end up having the match, and the match turned out fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved it. I mean, it was fantastic. And I ended up cheating to win. She went for a low blow, and it didn't affect me because I had a cup on.
Of course you did.
So I reached down, I pulled the cup out, boom, and then I think I hit her with the cup and then pinned her with my feet on the ropes. And and it turned out, and the people were so mad, and it was so fantastic. And then I felt so good about what we had just done, the build up and everything, and then the actual match itself and everything. And we go to the back and everything, and Felony's back there, and she starts tearing up. And I go over to her, and I was like,
okay.
you all right?
What's wrong?
Yeah. And she's like, that was awful. And I'm like, what was wrong with it? And she was just like, I did so bad. And I said, you did perfect.
Yeah.
I said, you were perfect in that. I said, we had the crowd with us the entire time and everything.
Yep.
It was fantastic. And I couldn't have asked for a better match at all, that night, especially for that angle that we had and everything. And it was just fantastic.
Is that match on your YouTube
yes,
channel?
it is.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay.
Check
I'll
out
check it
that
out.
match. I'm going to check that out. What
Yeah.
show was that?
That is Vicious Vixens 1
Vicious Vixens
Nice.
1. Okay.
under the UWF playlist.
We'll have to go back and watch
Hey,
that sometime.
Bo-
Well, sometime
Bo-
we'll have you into the studio, and we'll watch some of these old things with you. If
Okay.
you want to do that.
If
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
wants it.
Yeah. Well, sometimes we'll put some of your YouTube channel on. We'll come back and relive some of your old matches.
Okay, that's cool.
Bone Breaker Action on YouTube said that he used to watch your channel all the time. That your channel's great.
Who's this?
Bone Breaking Action.
He's
Oh, yeah?
he's a pretty big YouTuber.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Yeah, and he likes Banditos too.
Oh,
Well,
Well, who don't like
Not
Bandito?
everybody has good taste. Takeshita's been busted open with a match against John Moxley,
And Moxley's
fellow
nose bleeding.
Cincinnati, Ohio native. I've
So-
actually got to meet his trainer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Les
he is busted open, ain't he?
Not Les Thornton.
Thatcher.
Les Thatcher. I'm thinking Les Thornton that teamed with Mick Foley in his match against the British Bulldogs. Not Les Thatcher. It was another guy. I forgot his name now. Must not have had that much of an effect on me if I can't remember the guy's
Yeah.
name.
So tell us, Bobby.
But it was in Hamilton, Ohio. They were doing a show. It was Superhero Day. And the ring announcer at that show, it was a free show outside in the boiling hot. Slick Rick, not Ric Flair, but former MWA champion. I always throw that into his face. But Slick Rick, the ring announcer,
Rick Toms.
Rick Toms, yes. He was there, and he's like, man, what are you doing here? I said, I was born here. I was in town visiting family, and they had the thing go on, so I figured I'd stick my head out and see what's happening. And he kind of used me. He's like, man, I'm going to get you on camera, and you can plug the show. I was like, oh, shoot. I'll do that. And he was like, you mean those people that ain't down here yet? Wow, I kind of used Slick Rick's phrase. He goes, gimmick infringement. But I was actually at Slick Rick's second time ring announcing, didn't even know it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Slick Rick's a great guy. Great
He
guy.
really is. Really is.
And no offense to anybody else, in my opinion, Slick Rick is the tops as far as
Yes.
ring announcing goes.
Wow, really cool.
That's right.
Yeah.
So tell us, Bobby, how did Simba come to be? I know you told the story many times.
So
but
Bobby has
Don't call him something.
has a character called Simba, right? How long did you do Simba?
I did that, believe it or not, it wasn't that long, maybe 6 months.
Okay.
But people still ask me about it today.
Oh yeah, it was a popular character.
Yeah.
It's like yeah.
Chris Blade, thanks for watching, brother.
Why isn't he here?
He has softball.
Softball.
He said he won his softball game.
Yeah, he won his softball.
Oh,
game.
awesome.
What is he?
But he
sick?
got scared of Bobby Blade. That's why
We
he's
could
not
have had our match tonight.
Yeah.
right.
instead of who is.
You wouldn't have to, Bobby beat you. You wouldn't be able to use the blade anymore.
Blade cutter.
Um,
Tried to call it that. I'm like, you have to go with Bobby Blade on there because that's his gimmick. He's like, oh, okay.
it's cool. I don't care.
So, are you involved in any promotion right now? Are you doing any management or anything like that? Just
Sit on the couch and watch TV.
and post you on your YouTube because you just posted a new a new video like a couple weeks ago.
I actually posted one Sunday.
Well, you posted
Oh,
one
wow.
Sunday. See, I didn't see that,
Yep.
but there's a new video on Bobby Blade's YouTube
I
channel,
checked
guys.
it
Check
out.
it out.
Chris Blade said he ain't scared of nobody but God, and that's it.
There you
All
go.
right, Chris Blade.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Austin
You better hold
Diamond
on to
says.
that.
I had to bring
Diamond
Bobby
says-
Blade out of retirement to whoop that ass for you.
Austin Diamond says Slick Rick is definitely solid on the mic. That's right, Austin Diamond.
Austin Diamond is very impressive on the mic.
Yeah.
Bobby Ross.
When I went down there the first night that I went down to KPW.
And they called me the wrestling encyclopedia. This guy knows stuff that even I don't know.
Who, Austin?
Austin Diamond.
Oh, yeah, and he's young. He's only
15.
15. And I was like, Austin, I went up to talk to him, and I was like, how old are you? He's like, I'm 15 years old. I'm like, no way you're 15 years old and announcing like that. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He puts a lot.
And he doesn't sound like your typical 15-year-old. He sounds like he's at least in his 20s.
Yeah.
And he puts to shame all of the other announcers.
Well, I think as far as the great announcers go in the area, Slick Rick, and this is not in any order.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Slick Rick, Aaron Rose, Dale Bass, Austin he's really coming along.
Yeah, he's
Yes,
young.
he is.
And imagine, he sounds like that now. Imagine what he's going to be like in like a few more years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's not a legend right now. He's still just starting his stuff, but if he keeps up with the announcement, he
Yes.
he may be announcing everywhere.
Lee G is coming into his own as an announcer. He's doing he did a couple shows this past week, past couple weeks for Gen Next,
Yeah.
and he does for Grindhouse Pro Wrestling too.
Oh, nice.
And if I may add, Bobby Russell said that he loves listening to your experiences.
Oh
because
yeah.
He loves your passion for the business.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, Bobby Russell's runs
Bobby-
the
Yeah, he's on the.
All About Wrestling podcast. They sometimes
Yeah.
call in here sometimes.
They're in Pennsylvania, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Pennsylvania.
I'll
Yep.
have to check them out.
These two have called in on their podcast a couple times.
Yeah, they're great people. They support us and we support them. And
Yeah.
thanks, guys. Everybody, if y'all are sleeping, don't sleep on the All About Wrestling podcast on YouTube, guys. Check them out. They have great guys on there. People, they just had their show on Sunday was it Sunday we watched
It
them?
was Sunday.
That was a great show. They had a bunch of
Bandito called
wrestlers
in.
talking on there. Who is it?
Bandito
Bandito
called
called.
in.
Bandito did call in there. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I called it. He was talking shit about me. I wanted to say something, but I said,
all
nah.
right.
Bandito's always talking shit. But you won't get me to say anything bad about Bandito.
I'll say plenty bad about Bandito.
Oh, getting back to the Simba thing, how it became Simba.
Yeah.
Right.
I ordered all my actual gear from Adrian Street. Exotic
Adrian
Yes.
Street.
Oh, sorry.
Nice.
He's still going strong.
Yeah.
He's still making gear.
Yeah.
and Probably still could wrestle if he.
But I ordered a pair of orange and black tiger stripe suit or outfit and everything. It was the tights, trunks, and there was a top kind of like what Randy Savage was wearing.
Yeah.
That had the the fringe hanging off the
Right,
sides on the
right.
arms. It had that, and it was orange and black tiger stripes. Well, I started wearing that, and people in the crowd started hollering Simba at me. Well, I would start this, don't you call me Simba, don't call me Simba. Whatever you do, do not call me Simba. Of course, that's going to get them to,
Right.
Yeah.
call me Simba even more. And that would go on for a long time and everything. Well, while they're doing this, I'm kind of changing things up. Like, I would start, losing my mind and, stuff like that. And I would start freaking out when they would say, don't call me, or, when they would call me Simba.
Yeah.
And then eventually I would add, like, cat eye makeup.
Ooh.
And then I would add, like, an outline, around my face, a black outline. And then I would add the orange paint, and then I'd add the stripes
Yeah.
at the last of it. And then finally, I just ended up, coming out. I'm Simba, and I just kind of embraced it. I stopped talking. I didn't cut promos. I would roar and growl. I would bite the ropes. I would shake the ropes like the Ultimate Warrior and then bite them and stuff. When it would come to the actual matches and stuff, I would, scratch my opponents and I would, claw at them. I would bite them and stuff like that. It was great. I didn't have to do anything for the 6 months I was doing the Simba gimmick. And it was great. You just get on the mic and you just, and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And do stuff like that. And then eventually I started taking it away a little bit at a time. And then once everything was gone, I switched my orange and black outfit to all black. Ooh. And I was like, because of you fans and everything, I lost my mind for 6 months. I lost my identity for 6 months. I didn't know who I was. Blah, blah, blah. Heck with all you people. And I turned on them and everything and became a heel right out of that and everything. And it was great. I didn't have to do anything for 6 months except scratch people. It was amazing.
Simple
That
is
was
better.
amazing.
Yeah. I loved it.
That's a great story.
But the thing is, though, is even though I did it for such a short time, here it is, all these years later, 2022, and people still call me
you
Simba. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's how I started just busting your chops all the time. Simba! Stop it!
Well, the thing is, though, is I'm almost 49 years old, okay? I'll be 49 in October. I am ecstatic that the people still remember.
Of course.
That was my main thing.
Great gimmicks stand the test of time.
That was my main thing once I got out of wrestling, was that I was afraid that I was going to be forgotten pretty quickly, and I haven't been. And that's been great. I mean, Larry D has brought me back to do shows, several times. I've had 4 matches since my actual last match.
Yeah.
Which my last match in my first retirement was 3-way with Larry D and Sexy Stan Sierra.
Yep.
And I dropped the title to Larry, and he cut the promo at the end. Blah blah blah. You're one of the toughest people that I've ever been in the ring with. I appreciate you, so on and so forth. Blah blah blah. Put me over and everything like that, and we hugged and all that. So I consider that my last match, but then I'm kind of jumping ahead here a little bit.
Right.
I sat home and I did nothing for 3 years.
Yeah.
And then my friend Jeff Vickers passed away. And,
Aftershock.
Aftershock, Country Cousin Jeff Rowe, Chic Aftershock.
Yeah.
And he was a great guy. And Larry had a Jeff Vickers Memorial Battle Royal. And
I was not able to make that show, but I heard all about it.
Oh, it was great. It was great. He had the Jeff Vickers Memorial Battle Royal. I was a surprise entrant in that.
Yeah.
And they did it like Royal Rumble style.
Yep.
It was like they put everybody in, but then like the surprises they would bring out,
Royal Rumble style.
Royal Rumble style. And I was the last guy to go out. And then when my music hit, Dale Bass is on the mic and he's like, "Whose music is that? That sounds familiar. Who's me?" And then I come through the thing and the people go crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God, they're reacting."
Yeah.
So I get up in the ring and I start doing my thing and everything, and people are chanting, "You still got it." And I'm like, I never had it. But,
Thanks.
but thank you. I
never had it.
I appreciate the acknowledgement.
Dear Lord.
Somebody called you Cool Arn Anderson on here.
Who was that?
This Fierce Fred.
Oh,
on
yeah.
YouTube.
They said what?
Yes.
Called him Cool Arn Anderson.
I talked to him on Twitter quite a bit. He's been coming to he came to the Winchester MWA shows for a long time.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I'm, there's chance, you still got it and everything. I'm just like, I'm freaking out because I'm in the ring and I'm like, they're talking about me.
Yeah.
And
who still got it?
Who came out behind me?
so we finished the rest of the Battle Royal, and it was Wildcat Chris Harris was one that won it.
Uh-huh.
Of course
We come to the back, and Larry comes back there, and he goes, "That was great." He said, "That was great. You did great. Thank you." And I'm like, "Thank you for honoring my friend."
Yeah.
And they ended up putting me on the commentary team there. And
DJ Otis Badass and Kyle Fields.
well, first it was Otis, and Tiny. at
That's
first.
right.
And then Kyle came in after Tiny took off.
Yeah.
I lose my train of thought sometimes. I'm sorry. They put me on the commentary team.
Put you on commentary.
And then there was a guy that was coming up pretty good. His name was Brandon Taggart.
Oh, he's great.
Yes, amazing. And Larry calls me up, or he messaged me one day, and he says, "You know, it'd be a great idea." I said, "It'd be a terrible idea, Larry," because I know if somebody in wrestling says, "You know, it'd be a great idea,"
Yeah,
that means
it's
they're-
involving you.
Yeah. So I said, "What is it?" And he says, "We got Brandon Taggart as a heel. You know, he's pretty much our number one heel, blah, blah, blah. Here's what we're going to do going into this." And he says, "I think that he could learn a lot by working with you." And I'm like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm,
Okay.
okay, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And so we build up for the match, and we do a thing where he ends up taking because he was the PTW primetime wrestling champion at the time, and knocks me out with the belt. We come back, we shoot for the match with the stipulation of I didn't want the title, I was coming for a fight, and if I beat him, my best friend Max Sled gets his final title shot against Brandon Taggart in a
Was
cage,
it
in
where
a
they
steel
started
cage.
the hashtag next world champ? Everything Max would do
Yeah.
something? Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Max is so funny.
Yeah,
Oh, Max is great.
Max is hilarious.
Max is very underrated.
Yes. But we shot for the match with if I beat him, my best friend Max Sled gets his final shot at the title in a steel cage against Brandon Taggart. Because I didn't want the title, I'm fighting for my buddy's title shot.
Right.
Well, we go to do the match, and the match is coming off flawless. I mean, granted, I'm a few years older, so I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
And I'm moving a little bit slower, but he's carrying me through this thing, and it turned out to be a brilliant match. And the story of the match ended up being me fighting 3 other guys, pretty much, because they kept interfering and stuff.
Yeah.
Austin Tyler Morris
Yep.
and Michael J. Cornette
Yep.
and Brandon Taggart
Yep.
as well.
Yep. And what it was Max was handcuffed to Cornette on the floor, and they ended up getting loose and everything like that. And then Max comes in the ring and he gets dropped. He drops Austin Tyler Morris, and then he gets dropped. And then here comes Cornette with the
Tennis racket.
tennis racket, hits me with it, or hit. They do something. They take Max out, and then they take me out. But then everybody's gone, and it's just me and Taggart in the middle of the ring, and I fight up, and I'm coming from underneath and everything, and we go. I go to do the diamond cutter, which was my finish.
Yeah.
I go to hook it. He shoves me off, and he goes for a clothesline. I duck it. No, wait a minute, I'm getting that backwards. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Go for the diamond cutter. He shoves me off. I go into the ropes face first, and I back up, and he hits me with a roaring elbow. Boom. Then he hits me with his finish, which is the Blue Thunder Bomb.
Yeah.
Goes for the cover, and everybody's going, surely this isn't it. And the referee goes 1, 2, and they're like, he's going to kick out 3. And they were like,
Oh, wow.
he actually lost?
Yeah.
So they didn't get to see the cage match with Max. Max didn't get his last title shot or anything like that. And then after I got up and everything, people are just sitting there stunned.
Wow.
And then they started a "You Still Got It" chant again after
Still
that. And I
got
was
it.
like, this is crazy. I can't believe it. At that time I was like 43 or something like that, and I hadn't been in the ring in 3 years, and that was an amazing feeling that we had such a good match. And it was so well received and everything like that. Then Larry asked me to come back again. 2 years went by, and he asked me to be a surprise entrant in the PTW Rumble, which is the Royal Rumble for primetime wrestling.
Yeah.
And that one didn't go so good for me because I was 2 years older.
Yeah.
I was a lot fatter.
Like we all are.
Yeah.
I didn't move as well as I did 2 years prior to that. So, that's when I did the thing with Nate Gnarly
Uh-huh.
and everything like that. After Nate was gone and everything, I tried to find Larry because I knew I knew Larry would, take care of me and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
Nate said you fired him up.
I did.
He's like, well,
It was an accident. It was an accident. I was on fire.
Nate, he's still claiming it was an accident. Still claiming it was an accident.
I was on fire when I came in the ring. I was just throwing bombs.
Yeah.
Nate, you gotta forgive him. He's all about stiffness.
Nate, quit being a masochist. You're not going to hurt Bobby Blade by walking into his fist.
Larry dumped me out of the ring. When I came out of the ring, I landed my hip first on the side of the apron.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, gosh, this hurts way worse than I remember it hurting. And I couldn't walk for 2 days after that.
Oh, wow.
my
Yeah.
goodness.
You healed from that, though, right?
I healed from that.
Good.
But I was like, yeah, I'm definitely getting older.
Yeah.
Then Larry sends me a message. You know what would
We
be
got another match?
You know what would be a great
That'd be a
idea?
good
And I said, Larry, it'd be a terrible idea. And he says, no, I assure you, this one's going to be great.
If Larry's watching this, he's going to message you in a couple days. You got a great idea.
Good idea.
But he wanted me to work with Adam Swayze, Hollywood Adam Swayze.
Adam's cool, man.
He is.
Adam
Let me tell you
Swayze's
something.
pretty
Adam
Swayze-
was so cool. Me and Noodles went down to Moorhead and we laughed at him so hard. Like Drew Dillinger came out and my son had some beef jerky and Drew was like, "Give me some of that beef jerky." He grabbed it and he threw it. And at that point, he knocked over a can of Coke like Drew Dillinger did. And then like the next match was Adam Swayze, and Adam Swayze comes out and looks at that Coke can, and the kid in behind us was like, he was giving him hell. You spilled that, clean it up. We laughed at him so freaking hard, God. And then he got in the ring, and then in the middle of the ring, he got on the kid again. It was so hilarious.
Our tech support guy, David Treadway, just left. He says, shout out to everybody.
Yep.
So go ahead about Adam. Adam Swayze.
About your
Hopefully we'll have him on the show at some point because he's hilarious.
Yeah, he's a great guy. Guy.
He said he was going to call in. I should have
I like
messaged
to see him call in.
Tonight?
him. He said he was going to call in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Actually,
Has he called?
no, he hasn't called.
Are we missing him?
I'll message him and see.
So Larry messaged me and he says, it'd be a great idea. And I said, terrible idea, Larry. And like I always do. And he says, I want you to work with Adam Swayze. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, okay, what's the business of it? What are we doing here? And he says, well, he's been working with all the older guys, and he's been beating all the older guys and stuff like that. And he's doing the Legend Killer type thing at the time. And it was going to lead to a War Games match, young guys versus the old guys.
Ooh.
And so I start the thing with Adam Swayze and his manager, Gideon Weinstein. Have you ever seen him?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. He's amazing. He is I tell you what, if anybody understood the assignment, it was him.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
He understood it.
Yeah. But, so we're building up, we're doing the build up and everything like that, and he's calling me old this and old that and everything. And that's cool. I'm cool with that. I told him to do it,
Yeah.
Cool. We do the match on July 15th of 2018. So the 4-year anniversary of this is coming up in a couple of days. So we do the match. It turned out great. However, 2 moves away from the end,
Oh, no.
I break my collarbone.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it was all my fault. And it was a deal where, he gives me the Sister Abigail. Boom. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, kick out. He's got his little, the clapper thing, the Hollywood clapper.
Yep.
Goes to nail me with it. Goes to swing. I duck. Give him the diamond cutter. Boom. 1, 2, 3. And he gives me the Sister Abigail. I hear something pop.
Ooh.
I'm like, well, that's not good. That can't be good. So I'm like, okay. I'm waiting for him to get the thing. I'm starting to get up, and I'm like, I can't get up. I can't push myself up like out of a push-up type position. But I could do it, one-handed because I broke my left collarbone. I didn't know it. I just thought that, something popped.
Right.
I didn't know anything was actually broken. So we go ahead and we do the rest of it and everything, and turned out fine. And then I go to I got him for the cover, 1, 2, 3, and after the ref hit the third count, I roll over to my back, give them time to get out of the ring and everything before I get up and get the last, yay,
Yeah.
And I go to plant both my elbows to raise myself up. Not happening.
Nothing happened.
Yep, not happening. And I'm sitting there going, something is bad wrong. Something is really wrong. And so I grab over here where the pain is coming from, and I can feel my collarbone. The bones are
Just
like
popping.
Yeah, they're moving around like this, and I'm like, oh gosh, I've done something really bad. And I decided at that moment, I'm done.
Right.
I'm done. That's it. I can't go on with the War Games. Like nothing. I can't go any farther. So that ended up being my actual last match, my last match. Wow. So, and that's coming up 4-year anniversary on the 15th of this month for that match. But he was great to work with.
Yeah.
Fantastic guy. I loved the entire angle with him. I loved to beat up Gideon Weinstein. He was awesome.
And, he took a shit kicking.
Oh, he did. Because I was bringing it. But the funny thing was the lead up to before the match and all that stuff. Adam Swayze was trained at Roger Ruffin's, right?
Oh yeah.
So he would go up to Bone Crusher's wrestling school, and Roger would be like, "You're working with Bobby Blade on the 15th," and he's like, "Yeah." And he goes, "I'm sorry, kid." So he would tell him, how brutal I am. So he would scare him to death and everything. So he came, kind of halfway nervous about it.
Did
but
Roger give you the Iggy that he kind of fired him up? That
yeah. So
he's a little scared.
Oh yeah, I kept it up and everything. So I mean, but we ended up having the match and the match turned out great.
Right.
Other than the break, obviously. Yeah. But the thing is, though, if you get hurt during the match, you really can't stop. I mean, you got to keep going.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's what I did. And that was the second time. I've only broken 2 bones, but I've had several other injuries. I broke my ankle in a match with Rob Williams in 2000.
Rob the Bomb.
Yep.
Or Dynamite back then.
No, he was the Bomb at that point.
Rob the Bomb.
Yeah.
That's why I remember, because at the up here where the old Continental Inn used to be, that's how I became affiliated with you and everybody else.
Yeah.
Those shows.
But I broke my ankle there, broke my collarbone in the match with Swayze, and I was like, at the time I was 45 years old.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, this isn't good. This has got to be it. And I went back and told Larry. I said, I'm sorry, but I can't do another match. I mean, because the War Games match was supposed to be like the next month or something like that. The next big show, whenever it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not going to be healed. I don't want to really risk it or anything like that. So.
Right. Plus, it wouldn't be fair to the other wrestlers in the match because which I'm sure they wouldn't mind doing, but they would have to work around your injury.
Yeah, they'd have to take up my slack and everything. So
that's
right.
And that's not fair with them. Fair to them.
Yeah.
So.
Andrew Browning chimed in with Bobby Blade is the man.
Yes,
Thank
he
you,
is.
Andrew.
You know that pink mask that you posted, that you wore? Well, I think I know who's using it today.
I know who's using it too.
Frankie Bernard.
Yep. You know where did you read the not the inscription, but like it's a grave or something like that? The post
caption.
Yeah, the caption and everything that I put for it.
Yep.
That was given to me by Billy Joe Travis in 1994 because I was in a stable with Billy Joe Travis at the MWA. It was me, Billy Joe Travis, and a guy named Beautiful Bobby J. And Billy Joe had that, and he actually used it in an angle in Memphis. And so he used that, gave it to me in 94, and then I gave it to Max, and then Max passed it along.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
It's a piece
Got
of
some
history
traction.
right there.
Yeah, there's a lot of history behind that particular mask.
Yeah.
So
I always loved that.
Yeah. So for that mask to still be used today, that means a lot to me personally because of where it's been and the fact that it passed through my hands, and it's still in use. So Does that sound
Yes.
silly? Do I sound silly?
It doesn't sound silly.
It
No,
don't
that's-
sound silly at
that's-
all.
Yeah, that's yeah.
And
still-
also, I couldn't have picked a better man to wear that mask because Frank Bernard does a lot of things when he's underneath that mask. He goes, oh, no,
Yeah,
no.
he does the gimmick. He understands the assignment as well.
Yeah, it's great, man.
Even did something. We went to one of Larry's bar brawls at his bar that he runs now. Shout out to Legends Bars and Events. He got into it. I got distracted now. I'm
Bar
like,
brawl.
Bar brawl and Franklin Bernard. Even after the show, everybody else is out there. They're kind of not in their gimmick. Jay Money out for Gen Next Wrestling brought the energy that first night. In the second night, I think he was kind of got hurt. So, but we made up for it. Johnny Lee here went home with a couple of ladies.
Yes, I did.
Golden
He had a
Girls.
couple. Hey, don't hate.
Golden Girls.
Hey, sometimes
Everybody's got their thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sometimes them golden girls can look just as sweet as pie.
Yeah, but he was doing it, even still kind of selling that he was all scared, with us fans, because somebody was like throwing money. I was like, "There's money still." Somebody threw like a handful of change out of him. I was like, "Here's a quarter. This was in the ring. This fell out of your pocket. Here." Like he was like scared of me. Total sell job, but he was pretending to be scared of me, just handing him a quarter. I'm like, here's a quarter.
That's
I'm
great.
like, look. I even go one better. I set it on the apron of the ring that he had in the bar, and I'm like, here you go. It's yours.
My favorite thing during the match when he's going around the corners and he's going, oh no, my champion, no, oh, and he's grabbing his head and falling down on the apron like, no, don't do that. Then whenever he gets involved, he climbs up on the apron. He's like, oh, over here.
That's the typical cowardice heel.
In a special.
Bam. We're talking over a great match. Claudio Castagnoli, the former Cesaro from WWE, taking on Jake Hager, a.k.a. Jack Swagger.
Oh yeah, by the way, AEW's on.
Yeah.
By the way.
I didn't even realize it.
This is pretty
been
much
doing
what we
stories.
do here. It's on in the background, but we do a podcast where sometimes talk about the wrestling, sometimes we won't.
The wrestling is just part of the package.
It's
Yeah.
part of the deal.
But we're
It's
more
pretty much
interested in
how
the
if you
ladies
have a
sitting
bunch of
across from us
friends
right
over,
now.
something's on, but you're talking about other stuff, but it's on in the background. You kind of periodically. That's what we do here.
That's right. And
For
like I said,
being your first time in a podcast in a long while, you're doing pretty good.
I appreciate
I'll
it.
put you over on
Now,
that.
You guys are carrying me through it, so like I
Yep.
said, I am nervous. If
Hey,
it isn't obvious.
You got nothing to be nervous.
we wanted you on for a long time.
Well, I
Actually,
well, like I said, I appreciate still being remembered by everybody.
Oh,
And
yes.
that's my big thing. Like I said, I'm just glad
Yeah.
to be remembered after all these years.
Yeah.
that's what it's all about.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
you've,
wrestlers that actually thought that they wouldn't be remembered. But
Yeah.
here it is 20, 30 years later, and their names still being mentioned, even when they were guys
Yep.
like Barry Horowitz.
Who?
Barry Horowitz was great. I was on a show with him in 1995 in Boonville, Indiana, for
Nice.
New American Wrestling, and he was hilarious. He was talking to us like he'd known us forever, and he was just cracking jokes and everything, and he was just like one of our old buddies and
Was that
everything.
before he won his first match? Because '95 is when he won his first. Well, it was billed as his first win.
I'm not about exactly positive. It was 1995, like in August of '95, and he wrestled
Okay.
Dutch Mantel that night.
Dutch
Dirty
Mantel.
Dutch.
Yeah, New American Wrestling. That shows up on
It's
my
on
YouTube.
your YouTube show.
And that was the night I had my worst match I've ever had
Hmm.
against a guy named the Suicidal Psycho. It was just too much of a clash of styles.
Yeah.
He was more of the flippy.
High flying style.
And you're a ground and pound style.
I was Memphis style.
Memphis.
Yeah, I was Memphis style, which Memphis style was my thing, and that was I love Memphis wrestling.
Me too.
And
Love
Memphis
it.
just punches and kicks.
Pretty much.
For the most part.
Yeah, I mean, you had wrestling moves and everything, but you did it at a pace where people could follow it, and it made sense and everything.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
Of course, I like the current style as well. But if you give me a choice between watching current product of any promotion and old school stuff of any promotion, I'm always 10 out of 10 times I'm going to pick the old school stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Exactly. One thing I get a lot of flack for from a lot of people is, I don't like hardcore for just the sake of it. It's hardcore, so we'll just do that. I didn't much care for it. Like, if it tells great psychology, that's what really got me. Like they were asking me one of my favorite matches of all time. I'm going to say it was Cactus Jack versus Triple H, Royal Rumble 2000.
Yeah.
That was my favorite match, but it's a hardcore match, and you don't like hardcore. I said, it was a hardcore match, but it really wasn't. It was a great story on ring psychology.
That's right.
That's what impressed me.
I know a lot of hardcore workers and everything, and they're all great people. So I do have respect for it. So
I have
I do
respect
too.
for him, but it's not my cup of tea.
yeah. Well, I worked at a place called Real Deal Pro Wrestling up in Ohio, and that was a hardcore show for the most part.
Yeah.
And I was doing like an anti-hardcore thing at the time and everything, and that was great. I can't do what they do. More props to them.
Wasn't there a show out of Cynthiana or somewhere that you were the hardcore champion and it tore up your jacket?
That was PTW. The
PTW.
PTW early days. They had a hardcore title, and it was made out of a saw blade.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it was heavy. It was a saw blade on a weightlifter's belt, and then had a big logging chain in the back to hold it all together. And you couldn't wear it.
So it was a kind of a...
Yeah, you had to put it up on your shoulder and everything, and carry it and everything. But the problem was I always wore a leather jacket.
Yep.
And this saw blade, it would steadily be cutting into my leather jacket. And I'm sitting here going, I'm the champion. I look down, my jacket would be sliced all up.
Ooh.
And I would be mad, and I'd be like, I'm the champion.
Yeah.
I'd never been so happy to get rid of a belt than that belt. I loved being that champion because I was their first hardcore champion. And I think they only had 2 or 3 hardcore champions total, but I was the first one. So I was appreciative that they thought of me to be their first champion.
Right.
But man, I went through a lot of leather jackets because of that belt.
Yeah,
Right.
I hear you on that one.
I was in the MWA show when they ran the Continental Inn up the road here.
Great shows.
Yes, they were. It was when they were running shows when it was by their pool. When they had the little concession, the locker room was in an actual hotel room, so everybody was kind of crammed into a room, probably not no bigger than the size of the studio. It was in there. I was sitting there. I would always go to the shows, as you know, with the belt on me. I'd have a belt on me and try to be like where I'd see them do it on WWE, I'd bring it to the show. And you were in the middle of managing somebody. I can't remember who. Bobby's like, hey, man. In between spots or whatever, you were just like, hey, man, where'd you get that belt? I was like, nah, I'm not going to fall for that. I'm not going to let you get me. He's like, no, man, I seriously want to know, where'd you get that belt? I told you, I said I bought it off, I forget the name of the website. It wasn't a WWE shop website, whatever, but he goes, I got that from there. That's the only way you'll get it. I was like, oh, God.
I thought you were going to bring up the night that the hotel security carried me out during the match. Were you there for that?
That was the night. Yeah.
I was so mad. Dude, you have no idea how mad I was. The whole thing was, okay, let me explain this to you, okay? I was managing Ray the Bear Steel, and he was wrestling Donnie Green for the MWA Championship.
Yep.
And I was factoring into the match, later on. Well, I'm sitting there, I'm, getting the heat with the crowd and all that stuff and everything, and I interfere once in the match. Hotel security that has nothing to do with the show comes up and snatches me around the neck, grabs me. The other security guy grabs me by the feet and crosses them so I can't move. I'm being choked out.
We had Dusty Day in there.
Yeah.
From 98.1 The Bull at the time.
I'm being choked to death. I'm getting ready to black out. I'm hollering, I'm hollering, it's a shoot up in the ring and everything, and everybody's just sitting there and just going on about their match. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. And they bring me to the back and sit me down, and they start laughing and giggling. And I said, what in the,
Right.
Don't you ever, and Chris Hayes is there.
Yes.
And
He was no nonsense.
And Chris Hayes he bought the MWA from Danny Fargo in 2000. Excuse me. And he, like you said, he was a no-nonsense guy, especially at this time.
Oh, yeah.
They sit me down, they start giggling, I'm going crazy. Chris looks at them and he looks at them and he looks at me and he goes, why are you back here? Just that calm.
Because it's not your spot to be shipped out yet.
And I said, because these goofs picked me up and tried to kill me, tried to choke me to death, and carry me back to this dressing room. Excuse me. And he says, we'll go back out there. Just that calm.
Yeah.
So I'm like, for real? Yeah. Okay, well, I'll go back out. And they come out of the dressing room coming after me again. Said, don't you even think about touching me. And then we ended up, they ended up letting me go and everything.
Yeah.
And went back out,
and
I went along with what we were supposed to do and everything.
Yeah.
And it was just, man. I was mad. I was mad.
Steamed.
I'd be pissed too.
Yeah, I was mad. Hotel security that had nothing to do with nothing.
The guy just making sure people aren't in their rooms watching the matches without paying. I'm like, it don't matter.
Yeah, they took it upon themselves to go out there and get the heel manager that was cheating.
Yeah.
I'm like, the thing is, if I'd known they were coming up behind me, I could have,
You could have,
I could, because I can handle myself.
Right.
I might not look like it now, and I might not be able to do it now.
Right.
But back then I could.
You
So if I
probably
knew
do it
that,
now.
well, maybe. But if I knew they were coming, I could, be prepared and could have stopped them from doing it. I had no idea they were coming. All of a sudden, they grabbed me by the throat and start carrying me out. And I'm
They
just like,
pulled some ninja tactics.
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It would be crazy. I'd be pissed off if someone put their hands around my throat and
Especially
had
when it's
them
not.
choking on me like that.
Oh, dude, I was so mad. I was so mad. I've never been that mad at a wrestling show in my life. And I've been mad at some wrestling shows.
Right.
But I've never been that mad.
That night they hit the.
But
fuck
you were
everyone
in a
switch.
match prior to that. That's what I was talking about, where you were like, man, where'd you get that belt? But yeah, that was the night that you got hacked that you got thrown out. I was like, that's not right, because you didn't really much do anything. Like, to get thrown out, the referee's like, get in the corner. And then that's when they grabbed you.
Was that the same night that Justin Idol's family ripped Max's shirt off and threw him in the pool?
Yes. I believe so.
Yeah. I couldn't believe. And security is just standing there like, whatever.
Oh, but let BoBBy interfere.
Yeah, but if I interfere, then the world's going to end.
Exactly.
You got a feeling that may have been a rib and just...
No, because Chris talked to the hotel security afterwards.
Okay.
And he said, do not ever interfere in anything that you're not supposed to. Do not ever interfere with anything MWA related, wrestling related, or something like that.
Okay.
You work for the hotel. You don't work for the MWA.
Exactly.
We have our own security that patrols the ringside area and all that stuff, and watches our guys' backs, and watches our crowd and all that stuff. You guys work at the hotel.
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all take care of that.
So they basically went into business for themselves.
Pretty much.
100%. 100%.
They're lucky they didn't catch
Andrew
you as a
Browning
wrong
says he
move
misses
right there.
PTW. You guys need to stop by my work sometime.
Who is it?
And Andrew Browning said we need to stop by his work.
He's a good man, I'm telling you.
Yep.
We brought him into the fold,
So,
and now he's part of us.
PTW, what happened with it?
Basically, they were running show, and then the pandemic hit, and
The pandemic happened.
The
pretty
pandemic
much.
happened, and then
Bob-
Larry brings back Jen Next.
Yeah,
much.
there
next
was
is
there
the
was a
actual
co-owner in there, and I don't know. The co-owner ended up selling his part of it to Larry, so Larry bought it all.
Okay.
As far as I'm aware, that might not be the case.
Yeah. Okay.
So I might be completely wrong and off base on that. So don't quote me on that. But They got Gen X started up now. Gen Next.
Yeah,
Started
yeah,
up
it's
now.
tough to get it right.
Yeah.
So
if I say it fast, it sounds like Gen X.
You say
Yes.
PTW, right? PTW?
Prime time wrestling.
Was that just Larry's promotion or?
Well,
It was Larry and somebody else.
Oh, okay. And then, okay. All right, okay.
Yeah, and then the pandemic hit, and then the other party.
Wanted out.
Yeah, as far this is
Yeah.
This
This
is
is
far as
rumor.
I'm told, yeah.
Rumor.
speculation.
yeah
Rumor,
speculation.
just Larry, let us know if that's right or not.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
just
I-
kind of talking.
Yeah, I might not have that right at all.
Yeah.
so.
Because I've heard
Exactly.
a lot about it. I just haven't. I never went to one of their shows.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah.
But he started up Gen Next.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
I know,
yeah, it
right?
is. It took me forever to figure it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Generation Next Pro Wrestling, and it's doing pretty well from what I understand.
Oh yeah, they have great
Yeah.
shows. We try to go to a lot of their shows.
Yep.
We go to Kentucky Elite a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those
Yeah.
guys. I've been up there twice, and I really need to get back. I'm going up there Saturday. Hopefully
too.
I'm going to get up there Saturday. Saturdays usually end up something happens and I can't go, and I'm like so pissed, and I can't because I want to go up there and I wanted to see what Omega didn't Omega take on the Kill Billy.
Yep.
That's this weekend, ain't it?
No, that was
And
last
yeah,
weekend.
It was
Last
last weekend.
And
And
he's
last
going to be
time?
there again.
Yes,
Kill
this-
Billy's going to be there
yep.
again this week.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
and then
Nate
you have
Hewitt, I can't think of it. Yeah, Nate Hewitt's going to be in town.
Nate
Yep.
Hewitt. Yeah.
Great guy.
Yep.
Yeah, I've talked to him on. He says next time he's up here in Lexington, he'll come on the podcast. So
I've only been on one show with him one time, and that was for Pro Wrestling Freedom down in Corbin. And he walked in, and he knew who I was, and he walks over and he says, "Finally, we're on the same show together." And I'm
Huh.
like, and I
Wow.
knew who he was, and
you thought the same thing, right?
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
"This is great, first
Yeah.
time meeting after all this time."
Yeah.
And I still remember that though. That was cool.
How
Yeah.
long has he been doing? How long has he been doing it?
Quite a while.
Quite a while.
Yeah,
Quite a
yeah.
while.
Yep. And him and the Black Dahlia are just now getting back into
They've been-
wrestling.
Yep.
Yeah, they've been out a while, but he's gotten himself in. Like
She
I
is
followed
beautiful.
him and her on Snapchat.
She is
Appreciate
gorgeous.
Austin.
She is gorgeous. She's beautiful.
David Treadway goes, "What?
Hopefully,
Will,
we get her on the podcast at some
what
point.
would
I'm
be?
sorry.
What was your favorite match ever?"
That I've been in.
I believe that's what he meant.
And after that, who's the biggest star you've ever wrestled?
Okay. My favorite match that I've ever been in was with Jason Cross in Georgetown for MWA. Flawless match, and it was nonstop action the entire time, and it was fantastic. And I will never forget. And I don't have it on tape. That was when I wasn't filming anything. And biggest star I've been in the ring with. See, I've been in there with Bushwhackers would probably be the biggest stars. Bushwhackers, Bill Dundee. Who else?
Oh my God.
Moondog Cujo.
Nice.
There's a lot of guys. Jimmy Valiant. Most of the Memphis, Buddy Landell, Ricky
Yeah.
Morton.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. Most of the guys that were in Memphis around the mid 90s and stuff like that, I've worked with most of those guys because the MWA at that time had a working relationship with Memphis. So they would send their guys up, so often and everything. It was great, man. And you would work with the Memphis guys and stuff like that, and local guys and guys from around from the tri-state and all that stuff. And like I said, we would go out we would promote at 7 different states, and you would work with different guys out there and everything too as well. So
Nice.
it was great,
Yeah.
great time.
Very great.
So
It's great. Austin Diamonds gave the address 811 Louisville Road, Frankfort, Kentucky. Just throwing it out there. That's where
They're having
Kentucky Elite Pro Wrestling.
They're having a big show Saturday.
Yep.
What's
Yeah.
it called? Heat Wave.
Heat Wave.
that's this Saturday.
This
Yep.
coming Saturday.
I'll
This
have to
Saturday.
share it on my Facebook page.
Yes, sir.
I was only ever at KPW twice for the Hall of Fame shows. The first time I inducted Jimmy Lamb into their Hall of Fame, and then the second time I inducted Tuffy into their Hall of Fame. And both times I was there, I was treated like a king.
Yeah.
So
My chest hurts thinking about Tuffy.
Those guys are awesome. Down there in Frankfurt, they have their own facility. They put on their matches. They keep up the belt.
Yep.
They have it's a nice, beautiful blue like the podcast the podcast colors, and they have a great place up there. And we went to the concession stand. I think me and Johnny went to the concession stand and spent
Yes,
what
we did.
we spent like maybe $10-12 and got
Yup.
everything we wanted to get.
That's
Right.
right.
Popcorn, drinks. I think we had a hot dog or two, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, great hospitality.
And then we sit close to Austin Diamond, and I bullshitted with Austin Diamond about the sound the whole time. And
That's right.
he's so good. Like, he's 15, and he is amazing on the mic.
Austin Diamond said, only twice? Might as well make it a third. And David Treadway goes, do you like being heel?
Love it.
Oh, you can tell.
Excuse me.
I would much rather be heel than a
Me
babyface.
too.
Like, you're like,
A lot of people
you're
say
such a nice guy,
they
though.
prefer that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're such a nice
It
guy.
seems like if you're having
The
a
nicest
bad day,
guy.
you would much rather be a heel because, like, you're almost encouraged to be a grumpy old fart.
I feel more comfortable as a heel
Yeah.
than I ever have as a babyface. And the thing is, if a promotion brings me in as a heel, I will succeed.
Yeah.
If they bring me in as a babyface, I will flop.
I would turn heel.
Exactly.
I will fail. I will flop. It's been a miserable experience.
Yeah.
So on and so forth. But if you bring me in as a heel and then turn me babyface,
Yeah.
works out fine.
Works out good. Yeah. Yeah.
But if you intro me and debut me as a babyface, it's a failure every time.
Yeah.
The heel, like, I find myself at the shows. Maybe I'm heel deep down inside, but I find myself at the shows wanting to root on the heels for some reason, and then
That's me.
yeah, and then I'm like, and then I like these guys will look at me and like, no, don't. I'm like, oh, okay, but I want to, like, Adam Swayze was down there in Moorhead, and me and my son Noodles was there, and he's 11, and he's on the podcast a lot. You've seen him in the ring with us at New South Wrestling. He loves the heels. Like, we sit there and we laughed at Adam Swayze. We laughed at Drew Dillinger because he thought that was funny. Drew came out there and it's like, give me a piece of that jerky, and he's like, he hands it to him, and then he's like, he just throws it on the floor at him, and he's like, my son was like, and he just laughed. He just laughed. He thought it was the funniest thing. So, I mean, it's fun when a heel is like a fun loving heel, you know, kind of like, you know, not somebody that's so mean, you know. You get some of the heels that want to be just so mean, but then you got those, you know,
Now I understand why.
you like
He's
that,
got
you get mean
moments.
like that.
Oh, he
I've
can
seen
be.
some of you. I've seen a lot of your wrestling now down in Georgetown when you were down there a lot. We used to come down there a lot. I've seen a lot of your wrestling in person. So
Now I
He always
understand
got
why
me.
my brother's heel.
Yeah.
he loves being heel. He's the nicest guy too. When you got him by himself drinking tequila.
But he's an asshole.
I can't say anything bad about Fandito.
That's
Oh,
right.
come on, Andy. Have you ever seen
I won't say anything bad about Fandito or you, but or you, Johnny.
I know, but don't you realize that he screwed this man out of his title the
Well,
first
you
time?
know, he's got it back. So
That's right, because that time you couldn't use your cheating tactics, Fandito.
It's all good, guys.
Thunder Rosa came out.
Who was?
Thunder,
that's,
Is that Thunder Rosa?
that's Mercedes.
Oh, that's
Martinez.
Mercedes. That's the ROH champion. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's why.
Mercedes. Yeah, they're having an ROH pay per view here soon,
Yep, the 23rd.
the
but-
23rd. We can't
Oh,
decide. if
speaking
we're,
of which, did you happen? I understand on Facebook you were cutting up where Courtesy Acura. Sweet. We're talking about OVW and kind of was just kind of crapping on the wrestling business. That's what it sounded like the way you worded it in your post.
Well, they're bringing in OVW on. I think it's the 23rd of this month. Don't quote me on that,
Okay.
but I think that's what they said.
Because I can't find it anywhere.
It's on the board.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's on there. But
Okay.
they don't. They obviously aren't wrestling fans. The Courtesy Acura people,
Yeah.
yeah.
because they call it OVC.
Oh, they got it wrong.
Yeah, Ohio Valley Conference.
Where did you find it on the internet? Like on Facebook or what?
No, it was on the Kentucky Boxing and Wrestling.
Oh, okay,
story
okay.
On their
yeah.
calendar of events.
Yeah,
But
we
they-
should have went to that already. We should have went to that and checked it out.
But they said that the Courtesy Acura has their TV show on Saturday mornings.
yeah,
And the host, Dan Glass, and everything, he was talking about it. He got the name of the company wrong. The first time that they were here at Courtesy Acura, they had Al Snow and Jesse Goddard on the show.
Yeah.
And they got Al Snow's name right, but they got Jesse Goddard's name wrong. They call him Jason Gutierrez. And I'm like, come on,
It's
at
not
least
his
know the name. Know the name of the people that you're bringing in. For,
Especially when they're sitting right there.
Yeah, I mean.
Unless that's his shoot name and we don't know it.
No, I think it's Jesse Goddard's.
Okay.
I think.
Mr. Spectacular.
Yeah, but we're talking about the heel thing and everything. I patterned the first part of my career after Shawn Michaels. I tried to be like a Shawn Michaels cocky babyface type, or cocky heel type guy, and I realized that wasn't really clicking. And my favorite wrestler of all time was Roddy Piper as a heel.
Yes.
His heel work.
There was nothing that could touch him.
Exactly.
Oh, a legend. And
I don't think
great.
I
So
don't think
good.
Piper even liked being a baby. I mean, I'm sure he appreciated it, but
I think he's second
Like
to Ric
Flair-
Flair as a
Yeah.
heel.
Flair never liked being a babyface.
Yeah.
He would much rather be a heel.
But as I got older and all that stuff and realized that the Shawn Michaels stuff wasn't clicking with me,
Yeah.
I was like, I started looking at Piper, and Piper's my favorite of all time. And I started patterning my work after him. And then that's when it all came together.
Yes.
And that's when everything started to click, everything started to work and everything. That's when a light bulb went off on my head.
I'm a heel.
Yeah, and I said, I'm a Roddy Piper type heel.
Yeah,
That's
my character's
right.
a heel.
Yeah, and I said, okay, I'm gonna start just jacking his style. So I started eye poking people, started kicking people in the crotch, and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And I started doing all that stuff, and it worked.
Yeah.
And
It did.
Yeah, and I loved it, and it saved my body by switching to that style of work. Than going out and doing a 100-mile-an-hour match as well. I never really could go 100 miles an hour. I could go 75 at times, but I realized once I slowed my pace down even more and started cheating more obvious, blatantly cheating, and not caring and stuff like that, and referee get in my face or you choke. Yeah, I did choke him. What are you going to do about it? You going to DQ me? I don't care. I'm going to get paid, regardless.
Right.
And go back to choking him and stuff like that.
I saw you say that one time to a referee at a show.
I probably
was
did.
like,
There's no telling what I've.
there's no telling.
Yeah, as a heel, there's no telling what came out of my mouth. There was one night, and I don't know if you were there. Were you around for the first run of PTW at the convention center? Okay. There was a guy that would come to the crowd. We would call him. His name was Jody, and he was always intoxicated. So he would watch the show.
I remember hearing about him.
Yeah. He would always make a big stink in the crowd and all that stuff and everything like that. And I was a heel. I came out, I was out there for doing something, and he all of a sudden lunges at me and spits on me.
Oh my gosh.
And then he claims that I spit on him, and I didn't.
Right.
Because I don't do that. I don't go that far. I will not spit on the crowd. He calls up his family and has them. The convention center was sitting on a road where there was two ways out. You can go this way and get out to the main road. You can go this way and get out to the main road.
Right.
His family blocks both ends of the road, and they have guns. And Jody and his family that was there had guns in their cars. And they said, we're not going to let this guy go. He spit on us, and I didn't.
Right.
We're going to kill him.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's
So,
the kind of heel you
it's fantastic.
most heels would pay for.
It's fantastic. So we had to call the cops to get me a police escort out of town. The police stopped at both ends of the roads and confirmed, yes, there are cars blocking the road, and yes, they do have weapons. They got them out, got them taken care of and everything. Got down to the convention center and got Jody and them out of there and got them on their way and everything. And then they had me in the middle. They had a cop in front, a cop in the back, and they drove me to the county line. And that was one of the couple police escorts that I've had to have. And That was a lot of fun. I can say that I've had police escorts out of town. There was nothing like that, and people look at you all crazy when you talk about it, and you're smiling and everything when you're talking about it. But I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
You know, the other time was in Hazard. We were doing something, and they tried to say I hit a little girl, and I didn't, with a chair. And I'm sitting, I'm sitting
I
here.
wanna see that.
Yeah, I'm sitting here saying, okay, why would I take a chair and hit a little girl? And nothing like. Crowd goes ballistic. They start trying to come at me and all that stuff. I go back to the dressing room and I don't come out. Here come the cops. Same thing. They got everybody. They got everybody calmed down and everything. Kept on with the rest of the show. But carried on with the rest of the show. Got it. Everybody make sure everybody was clear from the building and all that stuff. Cops gave me a escort to the county line. I was happy, but I did. In both of those cases, I did not spit on Jody. I did not hit the little girl with the chair. And I have witnesses. The other wrestlers, and it wasn't just a matter of the boys sticking up for each other. They're giving their actual account of what happened.
Yeah.
No, he did not. He did not spit, and he did not hit.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
You got that right.
so I've had 2 police escorts to the county lines, and I'm very proud of that.
That was great because
Great heel work.
Yes.
being a heel,
Getting the
meant,
police involved and people are proud of that.
Yeah.
Only
Being-
in the wrestling business.
being a heel
Or
back
if you're a psychopath.
being a heel back then meant that you had to watch your back, and sometimes the crowd would get rowdy, wanting to fight you
Dude,
with knives.
Being a heel now and being a heel then are 2 totally different things.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it was nothing for us to have riots. We were in regular riots, every so often and everything, and they were great.
I remember MWA had
Exactly.
there was a fan, she has since passed on, I forget her name. I love her to death. There was one time you guys had for about the thing of a month, there was about a riot or just some like security working that night they earned their pay if they got paid because they earned it that month. Because every Saturday night when MWA ran in Mount Sterling on a consistent basis for a while, I've been to a handful of those shows. But for that month, they were there every week. And I'm like, what am I missing? But they were, I can't, like, she would do this, and then it all culminated in a thing, and she's like, they're trying to get her out of there and calm, and she's climbing under chairs and this, that, and the other. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? But it was a great time as a fan for me, for even just local independent wrestling, as they call it, but it was fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I will never trade my time in the business. I did it for 29 years. I will never trade that time for anything. Like I said, I've said this in multiple Facebook posts. Because of wrestling, I had a personality. I had a voice. I switched from being this shy, scared to death little kid and became, a person that was kind of outgoing.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. But when I was Lone Wolf Bobby Blade,
Yeah.
it was 100 miles an hour, mouth running, blah, 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 don't shut up, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So-
And you can tell the people still love you because, like, when we were at the New South Wrestling, everybody was, like, wanted to take a picture with you.
Man, that was
I wanted to take a
crazy.
picture with
Yeah.
everybody.
Dude,
Yeah.
that was the craziest thing I'd ever seen because
Yeah.
I thought that people had forgotten me.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And that's when I decided I have to have Bobby Blade on my show. It's
Yes.
like everybody loves him. Everybody knows him. He has to be
Everybody
on the
loves
show.
Bobby.
Like,
I couldn't walk 15 feet without getting stopped 3 times, and
yeah.
you don't understand how good that made me
Oh, I'm
feel.
sure. Yeah, all the work you put in to
Yeah.
everybody to still be relevant. That would be,
And the thing is, I haven't wrestled in going on 4 years.
yeah.
I haven't done commentary since the beginning of the pandemic. It was right after the pandemic started. PTW had their last show. Was the last time I did commentary, and that was the last actual time that I've worked on a show.
Uh-huh.
So I was thinking it would be like an out of sight, out of mind type of deal.
Yeah.
But then I go to this New Style show, and then all these people are coming up to me and they're stopping me, and I would walk 15 feet and get stopped 3 times, and
Yeah.
I'd go up there to try to get me a Coke, and people would come up, hey, thank you for everything, and I'm like, this is
Wow,
great.
yeah.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
this makes
Yeah.
me feel good. And then have Tony Presley, who didn't know me from Adam, treat all the old school guys
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we were stars.
Oh, he loves wrestling.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
is a purist of the wrestling. He loves wrestling. Me and him, he calls me on the phone sometime, or I'll call him on the phone, and we'll sit there and talk about wrestling and the way he loves wrestling. He loves it.
Yes.
And you know the shows he puts on. He tells me, you know, he don't make a profit. He just puts them on because he loves the show.
Yeah.
You know, the guys get paid good, and he loves the show. So he's doing it for the love of it. That's just same thing we're doing for this podcast. You know, we're starting to make a little bit of money, but we put it back into the podcast, and you know, we love wrestling. So that's why we sit here and talk. You know, when I started the podcast, when I moved to this studio, I didn't have anybody. And then, you know, I found Sean. I've been messaging Sean. Sean, come on the show. And he comes over and he clicks with the show. So
Yeah.
he's born to be on the mic. Born to be on the mic.
Me about my cousin Johnny Lee.
Johnny was he was on the thing. He was
Always in the chat.
always in the chat. And I was like, I started calling him Superfan Johnny
I
Lee.
said, well, could maybe get Johnny in one day, see if it works, and then we've been stuck with. I mean,
See,
blessed with him ever since.
I wasn't like I didn't know him, and I wasn't like I don't know, you know. And then when he came on the show, it was like, so that started me bringing other like fans on the show, bringing Johnny on the show because he came in and he was just lightning. Like people liked him, and then you know, and then his brother Fadito came on, and you know,
Man, I
so
wish Bandito
Screw
had not.
Fandita. Yes, no.
And then,
Yeah.
like, you know, now we have Chris Blade with us. We have Andrew Browning is coming along. He does his own little interviews on his
Jonathan
his
Lang,
live.
the
Yes.
Slicksters have been in here.
Jonathan
Slicky
Lang.
J.
Slicky J
Slicky
has
J.
the best
That's right.
Macho Man impression.
He really does.
You haven't heard a good impression until you've heard him do Austin Tyler Morris, because it is spot on.
Really?
Yes.
Well,
Oh my gosh.
I've been encouraging him to do that. He's my impression guy, so he'll
Yeah.
come on, and hopefully I've been in telling him
If it
work
don't
on your
make
impressions. Work on your impressions.
Yeah.
He's so funny, man. He's so funny.
Yeah.
That's Mark Morris's kid, ain't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. ATM.
Yeah. But there was another wrestler with the same initials, ATM, long before Austin Tyler Morris. I wanted Austin Medler.
Austin Medler. Yeah. He wasn't ATM, but he was.
No, he did, like, for a while. I know I saw him at least twice. Once at MWA show up in Winchester at Fanny Bush Elementary. He was doing the ATM gimmick, but he was trying to act like a rich British style guy.
Oh, that's after he won the lottery.
Yeah, he does. Oh, you have to take a lien from the bank to get the back of the Doritos from Walmart.
Yeah, he would come out and he would be
Oh,
like,
hoity-toity.
yeah.
Yeah.
He'd be like, I'm much richer than all of you.
Yeah.
I love that.
Because all rich people apparently have an evil laugh that they
Oh
fall-
yeah, they do it at home by themselves.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, all rich
course.
people are like, ha ha ha. ha. That's
So
their house.
tell us, Bobby, what would you give advice to the young wrestlers of the day if you could?
Okay. I've seen this brought up a lot lately. If you want to get into the wrestling business, make sure you choose a reputable trainer.
Yeah.
Stick with your training. Do not go to 1 and 2 and then slack off and say, hey, I'm a wrestler. No. You continue to go through that training until the trainer says that you are ready and deems that you're ready. And even if you have your first match, you still might not be ready. But I've seen a lot of talk lately about guys coming to, and girls coming to like 2 or 3 training sessions. And then
think
just
that's all they got to do.
yeah, and then think that's it. Hey, I'm a wrestler. Hey, I got my license. I'm gonna go wrestle.
Yeah.
No, you got to make sure that you stick with it and stick with it and stick with it. And it's more than just training and doing a match and stuff like that.
Paying your dues too.
Paying your dues. Set up the ring. Set up the chairs. Do the cleanup.
You're damn right.
All that stuff. I did all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like I told Chris Blade, That's what it's all about. Pay
Yeah.
your dues.
There's still,
Get back to business.
if we want to talk about paying your dues, Jimmy Hart has, I saw somewhere where he was
Seen that.
setting up a ring
Yep.
and tearing them down,
Yep.
helping them. Jimmy Hart,
He's almost 80 years old. And
almost
he's still
80
doing it.
years old and still tearing up the ring.
Yeah.
If
That's
you
right.
tell me that he doesn't have love for the business, I'll call you a damn liar because
Yeah.
he's doing that and he don't have to.
Yeah.
He could
Damn
just
right.
show up with the megaphone and say, yeah, baby. Or whatever he does. But he's setting up rings, setting up chairs, doing this, that, and the other.
I mean, even if you're not booked on the show and and you're trying to get booked, just come to the show and ask if you can help out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Help sell concessions, help set up the ring, help set up
Right.
the chairs, do the cleanup.
I think Zodiac told us a story like that. That he just goes to shows and then he was there just helping a guy or
He
being
got
there
asked to
in the back, like giving a massage to
run.
somebody, and then
something like that. Because I wasn't in the studio when he talked about it, but I was at home. He mentioned that, and the guy asked him to hold the money for the merch,
yeah,
like
yeah,
no, to watch the merch table.
yeah. Watch the merch.
He
table.
goes, I don't need to worry about you. I don't, I know you
Yeah.
ain't gonna take a cut out of that for watching it. He's
Such a cool guy, man.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Zodiac
Yeah,
is a
Zodiac's
cool guy.
great.
He come right in here, and these guys were out sick with COVID, and
sadly.
he sat down right in the chair and was like, I was like, you're going to be our co-host today. And he's like, all right. He just stepped it up, and
Yeah.
then Chris Blade was here too.
And he wanted to know if I was gonna how I did. Like he asked me to, hey Sean, how am I doing? And he's
Yeah.
like, dude, you're doing good.
He's awesome,
Keep
man.
up
He's
the good
awesome.
work,
I'm glad.
Zodi."
I'm so glad he has my
I
belt.
remember Zodiac from Georgetown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, Zodiac, I first worked with Zodiac in 2000, I want to say, maybe 99, something like that.
Yeah, I think I say when he said he just started wrestling around
Yeah.
that same time.
Yeah.
I was in one of his first matches at the MWA, and I can tell you exactly what we did on the finish. He grabbed me in a full Nelson, and I gave him the old Ric Flair back kick, low blow thing,
Mule kick.
and then into a diamond cutter, and then 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, and that's what we did. And that was the first time we ever wrestled. And then we wrestled for UWF, and we had some pretty good brawls then. And he actually was sending me some pictures of those and everything, and I was like, man, that was a good match.
I remember you were billed as injured, and you get hold of him, put him in an ankle lock, and everybody's trying to calm you down. You're like, no, I'm not coming. Tom Wing, mass superstar. Sorry for breaking his gimmick, but he also had a superstar where he wasn't wearing the mask. And Tom's getting on the mic like, Bobby, enough. He's had enough. Tom Wing gets mad and goes, damn it, Bobby, stop.
Yeah. So,
He tried to end my career.
what local wrestler right now that's coming up that you see that you and you may not be in? Who are you impressed by the most right now?
Nate Gnarly.
Nate Gnarly.
Yeah, I love Nate Gnarly.
He's so cool, man.
You can tell by the shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got the Nate Gnarly party with Gnarly shirt. There was another guy that I don't know if he's left the business or if he's just taking a break.
Yeah.
And we talked about him before the show. Victor Vargas, Appalachian Headhunter.
Okay. Yeah.
He was amazing. It was kind of like a cross between Moondog and a Bushwhacker,
Uh huh.
and he was perfect for that.
We'll have to look him up.
Excellent.
See if he's still wrestling out there somewhere.
He's not.
He's not?
Not right now. He's not.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know if he's left the business completely or if he's just taking a break.
Okay.
He could be just taking a break, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But he was fantastic.
Yeah.
Honestly, I haven't really seen much of the newer guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can tell you at least from like a year or two ago, but Nate Gnarly, yeah, he's
Nate Gnarly.
Have you
He's got a-
have you been up to Frankfurt at the KPW, the new place they got?
not the new place, no.
Oh, you have to go up there and check it out, man. It's so
Yes.
it's so nice. Like
Great
the blue we
place.
have on the wall here,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit darker shade of that blue.
I gotta step
maybe
away,
more
guys.
of
I
a
gotta
wildcat
use
blue,
the
but
little boys around.
such a nice place, and they have like
comments.
TVs on the wall. It's a good place. You need to come on up there and check it out.
I'd love to. Like I said, both times that I've been up there was for Hall of Fames.
Yeah.
But they've treated me like a king. They treated me like I was, one of them and all that
Yeah.
stuff, and I appreciated that.
Scott Diamond came in here, and
I
him and
love
Austin
Scott
Diamond, they told some great stories. Scott Diamond is awesome. I'd love having him on the show. I hope he comes back at some point soon. He's been talking about having some of his young guys come on with him.
And Austin Diamond can't believe that you got charged for your soda.
Oh, at the New South.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all right. I don't care.
But
Yeah,
to go back to your paying your dues thing, me, Sean, and Chris Blay actually helped out at the Bar Brawl 2 before the dance started.
Yeah.
We grabbed the chairs and whip out the me mascots too, and we start having them take them down to that closet.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
When New South was over, me and Noodles and Fat Daddy, which the little kid that stays with us, we helped them put up the chairs. You know, and I was like, come on, guys, let's help put. They were like, what? And I was like, yeah, let's help put up the chairs. And they were like, oh, they were so cool about it. They were excited about being a part of it. You know.
I was so impressed. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I was so impressed with the New South show, how it was ran. The
Oh, my God.
Matches were good and everything. They treated all of us old school guys like we were gold.
Yeah.
Tony was super nice.
They treat us like we're gold.
Yeah.
I mean, he comes on the show all the time. And he calls me. He like one of my belt is in his promotion. They're gonna have I think they're gonna have a match at New Gen for it too, and KEPW is asked to do something too, I think. And I can't. When I showed up to New South Wrestling and I didn't know Anthony Presley, and now he's a good friend of mine. I think of him as a good friend of mine. He is that promotion is so professional, so awesome, and we're actually having William Warfield on the show for
And also
prepspin.com. He's coming on the show on the 27th.
sorry to cut you off, but
Yeah.
Austin Diamond just said he can arrange for Diamond Enterprises to come onto the show.
Oh, I want to have him on because he just won his first match. I need to have him on. I need to have
Yes.
Austin. I need to have you on. Talk about your first match that you won, and we want to put you over on that.
And also Scott Diamond and his Steve Austin story.
Yeah. They're awesome guys down there at KPW too. They're awesome guys. They came in here and sit down and we just chatted. We was on almost 3 hours on that show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And if his wife hadn't made him leave,
Yeah,
Scott
she was
Diamond
hungry.
would've told more stories.
Yeah, she was hungry, and I was getting hungry too. So we had to.
Diamond would still be talking.
Next time Scott Diamond comes, I'm ordering some food.
I love Scott.
And we're just
Diamond.
going to sit here and talk for
too.
hours and hours and hours. I'm going to start the podcast early, and we'll stay in 4 or 5 hours with
That's
Scott.
right.
Yeah, Scott's a great guy.
He's got
Yes,
all
he
kinds of. He's got great stories, all kinds of stories. He dresses awesome. Like
That's my thing. One of these days I'm going to get a picture of him not in a suit.
oh really?
I don't
think it happens. I think he sleeps in a suit.
The
I think
best
he
way
does.
to do it is
Yeah.
to catch him off guard when he's
He's like
out and
Barney
about
from
and he
How I
has
He's
Met
probably
Your Mother.
he's probably got a really cool silk suit he wears it to bed.
Like pajama suit or something.
Yeah, pajama suit. Yeah.
He probably says
Like
"There ain't
Barney and
nobody
How
gonna
I
catch me
Met
out
Met
this."
Your Mother.
Yeah. I'm just going to start calling him Barney.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly what
Have you met Ted?
He's
Have you
awesome.
met
All
Austin?
those guys are awesome. I haven't met a wrestler yet that I don't like. I mean,
they're
just-
out there.
Yeah, I'm sure
I'm
there
sure
is.
there
I mean,
are.
yeah, there's some guys online that are pretty big dicks, but local guys is what I'm talking about.
I was lucky because I did have some grudges with some guys over the past or through the years and stuff.
Uh-huh.
I was lucky by the time that I exited the business that I made sure I buried almost all those hatchets.
Cool.
And there's one guy though that, and I will not name him,
Yeah,
but
he knows who he is.
yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
that I will never ever bury the hatchet with, and he's a younger guy,
Yeah.
but
You know you are. You're a piece of shit.
yeah.
If Bobby don't like you, we don't like you, motherfucker.
That's
And the
right.
thing
Sorry
is-
about my language.
And the thing is, I don't know what I ever did to the guy for him
Yeah.
because he does. It's from his side.
Yeah.
He does not like me for some reason.
Wow.
And I've never done it. I've introduced myself.
And it's a real shoot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I introduced myself to him, and he just blew me off.
Huh.
Introduced myself to him again, blew me off.
Wow.
There'd be a line of 3 of us. He'd shake a hand, skip over me, shake a hand,
Wow.
and then he would leave. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Maybe his mom was one of the
That's
fans that when you
It
was
was
growing
his
up.
sister you hit with the chair.
Yeah, probably. That's probably what it was.
But
You hit his sister with a chair.
But I don't know. I don't know what I ever done to the guy
I grew up.
to make him, just blow me off like that. And I'm just like,
I grew up being taught that the young guy should shake the older
Oh.
wrestler's hand because it's courtesy and respect.
Shake everybody's hand.
That-
Exactly.
Young guy,
Yeah,
old guy,
yeah.
no matter what.
my thing is, and I've done this ever since I started training, was as soon as I come into a building, I make my way around to everybody and shake everybody's hand.
Oh,
say,
yeah.
hello, hello, hello.
Yep.
If I don't know you, hey, I'm BoBBy Blade. Nice to meet you.
Exactly.
Blah, blah, blah. Introduce myself. Say hello to everybody from the wrestlers to the ring crew to the concession people, so on and so forth. To the people doing
you
cleanup.
did that when I worked for Casey, when I helped out with KCW. You were like
yeah.
that.
I was.
You were usually one of the first ones. You and Shock.
Yeah, I would make my way around, say hello to everybody, shake everybody's hand, make physical contact with everybody that was, part of the show.
Yep.
No matter what their role was. And then before I left, I made sure I said goodbye, be safe, blah, 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 to everybody.
Yeah.
Now granted, people would get away and, leave early and all that stuff, and I wouldn't get to them. But everybody that was still there by the time that I left and everything, I always made sure, I always call it making my rounds.
Yeah, yeah.
I make my rounds when I go in. I make my rounds when I leave.
Yeah.
And apparently that's frowned upon these days.
Really?
It's what I'm hearing. I don't know
Huh.
because I haven't been to. I haven't
That's
been
crazy.
I haven't
I
been
don't
on the
understand
inside
that.
for the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But
Yeah.
it's
I
apparently.
mean,
not
that's
a thing
probably
anymore.
why. I mean, you doing that is probably why everybody knows you. Like, that
Yeah.
still knows you. Like, and your name is still out there as being a great guy. To work with.
And to be honest, I wouldn't understand why they say that they're frowning upon that because that's something I grew up being taught
Yeah,
that every wrestler does.
Well-
It's, I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's not been officially said. Hey, we don't do that anymore. But it's like I've seen people make comments like, I don't feel the need to shake 40 people's hands, every time.
First Fred said Bobby is his dad. That's why the guy don't like you.
And Fresh Fred said one more match.
That's what I was
one
saying.
more match.
Maybe it's his. Maybe you knew his mom back in the day or something.
Bobby Blade owes child support.
Hey. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't understand. I don't know. I don't
It's
know what
hard to
happened.
say. It is.
If I was a wrestler, I would make sure to shake everyone's hand. I wouldn't care if anyone was making backhand comments. I'd just be like, hey,
I think it's
I'm
just
me.
it's just a common courtesy in general.
Yeah.
And plus if you're gonna be entrusting these guys to your
Plus, you may have a match with this guy
Yeah.
at some point.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. If
Yeah.
you're gonna be entrusting this guy with your life and all that
Yes.
stuff and
Yeah.
and your well being and all, hey, good to
and,
see you.
and that's trust. That's trust between the wrestlers because when you're shaking his hand, this guy he'll protect.
Even the guy like you shake his hand and be like, oh, go to the pro. I want to have a match with that Bobby Blade guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
He seems really cool and
yeah. And tradition is when you're shaking hands and you're looking each other's eye, you're gonna know that's a guy that's gonna make sure
safe.
that you're gonna be safe and that you're gonna be protected out there.
Well, my thing was I was open and available to anybody, before the show and all that stuff. But right before my match,
yeah.
that's when I want to be left alone. So if you come to me, after I've gotten everything,
Yeah.
And
You
you
know,
got in your mindset.
I get my mindset and everything. That's when I want to be
Preparing
left
for
alone.
preparing for your show and
Yeah.
getting into
Understandable.
character. Yeah. I mean that makes sense.
Yeah,
You know?
and the thing is when I go out there, I work Memphis style,
yeah.
but I would give, and that's not meaning that I didn't give 100% because Memphis style is a style,
Yeah.
Yes.
and you give 100% no matter what you do. I give 100% in the ring, and I left everything out in the ring.
Yeah.
I gave 100% what I was capable of, and I would be so, elated after it was over with, and so and feel good if I had a good match, or be upset if it went bad or something like that. But I would always come to the back, and I would collapse on the floor because I had nothing left to give. And I would sit there and I would lay on the floor, and nobody understood why I did this because I would sit there and I would reflect on the match. That's, if you lay flat on your back and everything, you get the cool from the floor.
Uh-huh.
And you're on a filthy floor, but still,
Yeah.
you get the cool from the floor, so you get that, and you got, you're sweaty and hot, so that cools you down and everything. And then plus two, what?
Swerve.
That new AEW World Tag Team Champions.
Wow,
Swerve
Swerve.
in all glory. Swerve, Strickland, and Keith Lee.
It's about time.
Yeah, they
That's
just won
right.
they just won the championship. That is awesome.
But you lay in there and you're getting cooled off. You're resting by laying flat on your back on the floor. You're allowing. I've got a bad back,
Yeah.
so I'm allowing my back to line back
realign.
up. And plus, I'm also reflecting on the match and what we did and all that stuff, and everything like that. So I always call that my my cooling off period and stuff like that.
Downloading.
Yeah.
Almost downloading
Yeah.
back all your information. Like
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
And then the best feeling in the world when it comes to being in the wrestling business is
Oh, that's me.
leaving the show and you're by yourself and it's summertime and you were wrestling in a hot building and you're sweaty and you're tired and it's dead silent. You don't have the radio on and you got the air conditioner on full blast.
Yeah.
And you're just thinking, what a great night we had.
Yeah.
This was a great night. I just had a great match.
Yeah.
So on and so forth. And that's the best feeling of reflection.
Yeah.
And that's when you feel like you've done your job and you've done it well, is when you can get that moment and you're heading to home or you're heading to the hotel or, or something. If you got another show the next day or something like that, you're sitting there with nothing going on except just driving.
Yeah. I've kind of felt that way when we got done with the New South, which I didn't have a match, but we had our belt there and it was a show kind of about us. And I got into I got a van, the Nice Guy Andy podcast van with the graffiti on the side, and me and Noodles and Fat Daddy got in, and we were just like, we were driving home. It doesn't have air conditioning, but I guess it does have air conditioning. We opened the wing glasses in this old Chevy van, and we were just kind of just cruising, and it was like, oh man, that was just an awesome night. So I kind of understand what you're meaning there. Yeah.
That's how me and Sean.
That's
do.
what we did when I took him home. I'm just like,
Just chilling out.
It's amazing, right?
it was amazing.
Like,
I turned off the radio. Crystal was like, yeah, wasn't really. I said, trust me, if you don't know, we can't explain it to you. But
Yeah.
she was there, and she was so happy for me and Johnny and all of us, because I've been on here probably 4 months, 5 months
Since March.
Yeah, okay, 4 months, and I had no idea what I was doing when I got here.
Seems like forever now, though.
it does, don't it?
We've done like we've done weekly shows ever since then. We've probably done.
Yeah,
Consistency.
yeah,
we've probably done 20 shows at least by then.
at least, yeah. But I was just doing that and doing that. I said, this is just what we,
Yeah.
I still
And
don't
it took
know
me
what I'm doing.
forever to get
To
a
get
hold of
me
him,
on
to
it.
get him on this damn podcast. And
And
I'm
now
glad
he-
it started here because I moved here and I didn't have any, my whole other podcast crew, when I moved from my other podcast studio, they started switching pay-per-views to Saturday nights. And I was just doing pay-per-views then. And all those guys had to work on Saturday nights. So I didn't have anybody to do a podcast with. So I was sitting here one night just doing a podcast by myself, and then I messaged Sean, and he just
I
happened
finally
to
got back to
finally
him.
got back with me, and I was like, "Come on to
After
the podcast."
like a year trying to get me on.
He comes into the podcast room, and he's been here ever since, and this is
Yeah.
amazing. And
Best
then we started.
co-host ever.
And
And then we started doing a show every week, and that's when everything started picking up pretty good.
Yeah.
You know,
Harmony Oaks, thank you for watching.
Harmony Oaks is.
She goes, loves the way the painting looks on the wall.
She did that painting. That's
Oh,
a
yeah?
painting. That's not a print.
painting. That's
That's a
not a print.
painting.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes,
Harmony Oaks did that painting right there on the wall. I asked her to do it for me. I have been doing the emoji as my my trademark,
Yeah.
and I asked her, and she done that, and she done this one too. She did this. That looks like me, but that's Who?
Oh my god.
Oh my God! What a hit.
Comedian
Sam
Sam.
Tripoli.
Yep.
It's Sam Tripoli,
That's what
which
I
is
said.
like a comedian, and he does tinfoil hat. And then this is a painting too for a friend of mine. And then the other one up there is a painting. And then this art here, this piece of art right here is from a friend of mine, Dave Arnold. He does digital art, and I got a bigger piece of that at my house.
And might I add, Andy's got the best co-host ever.
Oh, quit.
I do have the
blowing
best co-host ever. And then
Johnny,
Lee,
say something nice about everybody.
say something nice about everybody, Johnny.
You see this guy right here?
That's his job.
This is the Wrestling Encyclopedia, Sean Johns.
That's
The
me,
best
baby.
co-host there ever was.
Oh, quit blowing smoke
that
on my
guy
ass.
right there. This is Nice Guy Andy. This is the host of this podcast. He's the greatest guy that you'll ever meet. And trust me, it's not a moniker. He actually is nice. And right there, all the way across from me, you guys need no introduction because the man himself, Bobby Blade, is the lone wolf. And you guys love him, and we love him, and he's the best guy there ever was. Woo!
I
Oh,
appreciate that, but I'm not going to be happy till I get some booze.
I got boo. He's a heel.
You suck.
Bobby's
We
a
hate
heel.
Bobby. We're
Worst
members of the
podcast ever.
Bobby
Worst
Blade.
guest ever. I can't believe that we invited him.
Yeah.
This
Boom.
episode will be the lowest viewership of all time.
No, that's gonna
sir.
be one of the best. I'd say.
It'll be one best, right?
I thought I caught him. I thought I caught him. He was looking at that chair in there. I thought he was gonna hit me with it earlier.
Yes. I knew that Bobby Blade was going to pick up that camera out there and hit him with it.
That's why we hid the chains and all
Speaking
that.
of promos from Georgetown, how you would start it up, it would change from week to week. But I remember you walked somewhere, you cut over where the barricade was just really a bunch of tables. You went through there and cut a promo on a spot on the wall. I remember you did that. Like, it was about J.R. Rock. And you cut that promo on that spot on the wall, talking about J.R. Rock, but you were looking at that spot on the wall.
UWF?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's all
I
you get to say.
remember it. It was like, you cut a promo. It was a good 10, 15-minute promo on J.R. Rock, but you were looking at a spot on the damn wall, and I'm sitting there working security. I'm looking at the other guy working security, Daryl. Love him to death. We could probably do another whole podcast on him. He's a trip. I love him to
Yeah.
death.
Oh, yeah.
Is your phone playing?
Shit, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Daryl.
Daryl, and I'm looking at Dale. He's like, just he's like,
Hey.
just go with it.
Creative liberty.
Yes.
UWF, I had creative liberty over all my promos, and that was.
Didn't you
was
love
great.
that? Didn't you
I
love that?
loved that. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I could say, I just said some off the wall crazy stuff that wouldn't make no sense to anybody, and it worked.
Yeah.
You know,
Like-
some of it worked, some of it didn't work.
I remember you had a stomach issue.
Who used to
You
do that?
couldn't
Macho Man
eat-
would do some
when
shit
you
like
couldn't
that.
eat meat, and everybody
Cream of the
would
crop.
get on Facebook like, "Hey, Bobby, I'm having a steak tonight. I'm having a hamburger."
Did I ever tell you about? Do you remember?
so
Kevin
funny.
Walters, the fan?
Every time you post something, what's your favorite color?
Yeah.
Or what's this? I'm
Please-
like,
please,
yes.
please reply.
Please reply.
He-
Yes.
Okay, this is in Corbin for Pro Wrestling Freedom. Have I ever told you this story
I
about
believe you had.
this?
You
is
haven't told me, but I remember you
where he's
on Facebook.
where
Yeah,
he's wanting
something
to
like.
buy something from me.
Yes.
Okay.
Every week.
Okay.
Every day.
He would come to me at the PWF shows after the show was over with, and he came to me one, and I loved him to death. Okay, but he wouldn't leave me alone sometimes, but I loved him to death, and I appreciated him. So Kevin Walters, if you're watching, thank you for being a fan of the wrestling business, and thank you for being a fan of me.
Yeah.
But he came to me, and he says, "Hey, Bobby," and I'm doing my best impersonation of him. Do you have anything that you could sell me? And at the time I didn't have anything. And I was like, no. And he's like, you don't have any T-shirts? No. You don't have any DVDs? No. You don't have any VHS tapes? No. And he says, you have any pictures? And I was like, no. And he's like, well, do you have anything you could sell me? And I was like, I can sell you my underwear. And he goes,
I remember that now.
and
Yes.
he goes, how much? And I was like,
Oh my God.
I looked around. And I was like,
Is this a rib?
are you serious? And he goes, yeah. And he says, I just want something from Lone Wolf Bobby Blade. And I'm like, $5? I didn't think he would bite. And he was like, he pulled out his money, handed me a $5 bill, and I was like, is this real life? And so I was like, okay, hold on a second.
Remember, you guys in Kentucky Stud would tell that story for months afterwards.
I walked to the bathroom. I went in there. I took down my pants, took off of my sweaty, nasty underwear, put my pants back on, came out. Here you go,
buddy.
And he took them. And I'm like, I cannot believe I just sold my underwear to a fan for $5. I'm like, I bet I could have got 10.
God.
You could have got 10.
Yeah.
You could have got 10.
You should have said $10.
Shout out to Kevin Walters. We got more underwear. Minimum of $10.
Bobby says, if you want more, you gotta spend $10 for them.
Got to buy all of our underwear.
Kevin was a great guy. I don't think he's a fan of business anymore, though. So
Man, that's up.
yeah.
I think you got, because you wouldn't respond after a while. Every time.
After those underwear, he probably like, fuck this, I'm out of here. I'm not buying nothing else from anybody.
Can I get your socks, Bobby?
I couldn't believe I was just joking. I said I sell my underwear, and he's like, how much? And I'm like,
Oh my
Really?
God. Yeah.
that was
He's got it framed on his wall now.
That is so funny.
no. Well, from what I understand, he fell out of love with wrestling. And he got rid of everything, and from what I'm told,
man.
Really?
he burned everything.
How can you fall out in love with wrestling?
That's yeah.
It happens. There was a short while. Believe it or not, as big as a wrestling fan I am, believe it or not, for the most part of '97, from May of '96 to about March of '98, before WrestleMania 14, I didn't watch wrestling at all.
That's not falling out of love. That's just like taking a break.
I wouldn't call it a break, but I didn't watch it. I didn't know
Yeah.
anything had
That was just a
happened.
break.
And then I
You
realized
came back.
that was the biggest boom. Well, the most current
I'll
boom
never fall
of
out of
wrestling.
love.
Yeah.
I just didn't care.
Yeah.
I just did not watch, WCW what?
There
The
was,
NWO
there was
what?
a few years. There was
Did
a few
not
years
care.
that I didn't really watch much wrestling either. But it always
Well, but I can't say
it always
that
comes
because,
back to you.
because I've been in love with wrestling since I was a kid.
Well, you're a super fan, so
yeah,
It's like the hot ex-girlfriend that you still
Yeah.
think about.
Yeah, exactly.
that's right.
and then you
Yeah.
see her at you see her at Kroger and you're banging her again.
That's right.
True.
My eyes hadn't been bad. I
That's
would have
how-
been trained to be a wrestler a long
like-
time ago.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
watched it
Who needs to see?
one time and then just got like, wait a minute, is that like Stone Cold Steve Austin? I'm like, is that the same stunning Steve Austin from WCW
That's when you
from back in the day?
That's
And
when you
they're
started
like,
becoming
yeah.
a wrestling fan again, or
That's
at the
when I
beginning?
became a fan again.
Oh.
Like I just
Yeah.
because I remember
I watched the whole Monday Night Wars.
Yeah, I did too.
For however long that went on, I watched that.
I was watching it a lot. I did not like from May of '96. I don't know what happened. I got burned out. You could say whatever. I just did not watch it.
So, was you a fan of watching wrestling while you was wrestling?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been.
Oh, yeah.
And I
Wrestling.
always caught a lot of heat about that and everything too, because
You're a mark.
yeah, exactly. And I don't understand that. I mean,
Yeah.
I never understood that I love something so much that I get in it and become a part of it. Now I'm all of a sudden I'm supposed to hate what I got into.
Right.
That I
Yeah,
love so
yeah,
much.
yeah.
I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I still don't understand it. And that's why, I never took pictures.
Yeah.
I rarely took pictures with people, like
Yeah.
posing with people.
Yeah.
And I've worked with a lot of Memphis guys, worked with a lot of names and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I don't have
Well, you was a
video.
heel, so heels didn't really do that
Well,
back then.
the vets and stuff like that, guys older than me
Yeah.
and all that stuff, they would call you a mark and all that stuff for taking pictures. And I just wanted to document, who
Your
And I've got to
your
meet this
career.
guy.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
career.
And now that I'm done in the ring and all that stuff,
Yeah.
I realized I didn't have hardly anything with. I have a lot of pictures of people,
Yeah.
Right.
and I have a lot of pictures that people have taken of me, but I don't have any. I don't have very many pictures with people.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
And now a lot of the people that I came up with are gone. You know, a lot of the people that I was fortunate enough, you know, the names and stuff, and the Memphis guys that I've worked with and everything, a lot of them are gone. You know, I'll never have the opportunity to ever get a picture with them again. So now that's why I go crazy these days, taking pictures with people.
Yeah.
You know, because I want to make sure that I can get pictures with as many people as I can get, so I can remember, you know, remember things and everything like that. But my mind's not as good as it used to be, so I want to remember. I want to remember as much as I can.
Yeah,
You want to remember
That's right.
everything before you forget.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there was a whole chunk of time, like I would tape every show, and then there was a whole chunk of time that I just didn't tape anything. I didn't film any, didn't take my camera to any shows, didn't film the shows at all. So there's a chunk of time that's completely missing the time, and I regret that because now I had 3 great big boxes full of VHS tapes.
Yeah.
And when I'm talking big, like this high off the ground boxes, and they were heavy, full.
Wow.
VHS.
And over a bunch of moves and everything over time and everything, those
Losing
I lost
stuff
them.
out of them.
Yeah, lost them. So now I've got 1 box of tapes left, and I've got a spindle of DVDs left this tall. This tall.
Yeah.
Of shows that I've done. A lot of the shows that I've done are gone now, just lost to time. Tapes break,
Yeah.
you know, before I could convert
The
them over.
VHS just goes to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like over time, VHS will go to hell, and
Yeah.
you'll pop one in, and it won't even work, and you're like, oh man.
Yeah, and see, and a lot of people don't understand too that back in those days and everything, there wasn't easy access to cameras.
Oh
you know?
yeah.
So I would have my great big camera that was the
Yeah.
size of a van, you know.
Yeah, they were huge back then.
And sometimes some of the promotions you would go to, like the different promotions and all that stuff, they would be filming for their TV or their VHS releases or something like that. So they wouldn't allow any other cameras to be seen in the shot. They wanted a clean shot. You know, the only cameras that were in the shots were their cameras.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so they didn't allow you to film their shows. And then sometimes it was a building thing. You know, the buildings wouldn't allow cameras in there, even if you were part of the show.
Wow.
And granted, now everybody's got access to
Yeah,
phones
everybody has
and,
their phones. Yeah.
they can film anything they want. And I wholeheartedly encourage every single person that's in the wrestling business right now to film everything that you can.
Yeah, sure.
Keep everything that you can. Take as many pictures with people as you can, because one day it's going to be over and you're not going to have anything to remember it, and you're going to regret it. You will regret it. Trust me.
Guaranteed.
And not everybody gets 30 years in the industry like
Austin
you.
Diamond chimes in with Georgetown, Kentucky is where Scott Diamond and Bobby Blade came up with the greatest handshake of all time. My dad wanted to let you all know he's watching, and Bobby Blade is a superstar.
I
Awesome.
appreciate that.
That's
Thanks,
right.
Scott.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you're not lying.
Do you still have Scott Diamond shoes? Bobby
I do
knows
not.
what I'm talking about.
I do.
Hey
I
Scott.
kept them.
Hey Scott. He took your
Hey,
shoes
he wanted
and
you to
still
lay
got 'em.
down. He wanted you to just take it easy. I remember that night.
It was coming as a price. I was going to do it, but it was going to come with a price,
Yeah.
and that was his shoes.
He's like, Bobby, here's some extra money, this, that, and the other. He goes, shoes.
Money and shoes.
Yeah, money and shoes. All right, you want my shoes? Have it.
We love
I was-
Scott Diamond.
That was when Scott Diamond, Amazing Maria, shout out to her. She is so great. She was so great.
Yeah.
And then now she's running the OVW Women's Division. Hollywood Haley J. I would be at the shows in Georgetown for
She'd
UWF.
be this tall.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. She
And
was a
we
little
cut
kid.
there, and that was I always called her my little buddy. We'd sit there, and I'd sit there and cut up with her the entire time. I go to an OVW show when they were out at Georgetown at Country Boy Brewing. I was teasing Amazing Maria. I was like, how much for and then it just like clicked. I said, that's my little buddy. She goes, took you long enough to realize that, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I mean, the thing is I told her, she showed up at the PTW show, one of the last PTW. She didn't work, but she was just there with Ronnie and Ronnie Roberts. And
Reverend Ronnie Roberts, Ravishing Ronnie Roberts, many different names.
she was there, and that was the first time I'd seen her since she was a little kid. So I remember Haley J being this tall.
Yep.
And then I see her, and she's like up to here. And she was already in the business, and I was like, I cannot believe this is
Yeah.
the same little kid
Yep.
I'd love to have her on the show if
Yeah,
anybody
me
knows how
too.
to get a hold of her, because you guys have history with her. So
Oh yeah.
I guess just ask. I would say Maria.
just message her.
Maria James.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or message her.
Sean,
yeah.
get on that.
Message.
I'll get on that later.
Yeah,
Sean's
Right
becoming
now
my
we're dealing
book.
with Bobby Blade.
Sean's becoming my
right.
booking guy now.
Bobby Blade
He
is
just- he
my
booked you,
get
so-
for the podcast this week.
Yeah,
Yep.
I got lucky. I just asked.
it's like we had Nasty Nate Larney on, and I just didn't. I was so excited about him coming on, and excited about his show that it was so overwhelming that it kind of wore me out. And I looked up on like Sunday night, and I'm like, or Monday night or whatever, and I was like, I don't have a freaking guest for
this
next week. And I was like, I told them, I was like, I don't have a guest, guys. If y'all won't know anybody, And then I was like, then I thought, well, I said, Sean, ask Bobby, see if Bobby will come on. And then he asked you, and it was like, oh, awesome.
Yeah.
And then like,
I'm surprised you waived your fee because your appearance on WWE TV.
Yeah, my rates go through the roof
AEW,
now.
yeah.
WWE.
Thank you for waiving that for us. bro.
We had to take out a loan we had to take out a loan at the bank to get Bobby Blade in here.
That's right.
I'm still looking around for the bowl of brown M&Ms and the 3 ice
Oh, is
sculptures.
it brown M&Ms?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the 3 ice sculptures of Joe Piscopo. And I don't
You
see
know,
them
you
anymore.
know, Liver Juice wanted
Joe
green
Piscopo.
M&Ms.
Well, Booty Juice McGee. So, yeah.
Lemon Juice. Lemon Juice was a great. He was a
really
great
was.
guest. He
I met
really
him for the
was.
first time at the New South show.
Yeah, he was a great guest. Yeah, we got quite a fit of
Remember, you used to have
a lot of views off his show.
Kyle Magger would be at KCW shows. He'd come out there with the water gun.
Kyle Maggard said he'll actually come on the show, but then he wanted to come with lemon juice. So I'm gonna have Kyle
We'll
Kyle
have
Maggard
to work something out with that.
probably with
I don't mind.
Kyle Maggard just by itself if he'll come on. Kyle, if you're
But he
watching,
says he'll only come on with lemon juice, so we can squeeze him in.
yeah,
Kyle's a great guy.
He really
he
is.
seems like he's real funny. He seems funny.
I'll tell you what, he used to run with a guy named Eddie Browning. I wish Eddie was still in the business. Eddie Browning, if you have
Yes.
not seen him, he is probably the best in-ring performer that I've been in the ring with.
Really?
Yeah, wrestling-wise and everything. I loved working with Wildcat Chris Harris. He was always my favorite to work with, but Eddie Browning's right there.
Yeah.
Right there. And I was always scared to work with Eddie because, Eddie wasn't a big name or anything like that, but he could go.
He was so good.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
was
really could.
He could make you look. He could make make you look way better than you were ever had any right to look.
He was doing a few shows for KCW there, and he would work with somebody who was green as grass and make them look like Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Like make the match
That's
look
right.
like they were at Madison Square Garden.
There
It was great.
There was one night he did a gauntlet match and he worked with 6 different guys
Yep.
for MWA. And it was a different match each time. And it was like, back to back, he beat somebody, next guy would come out, beat them, next guy would come.
Different styles. Yes,
yeah,
I
and
remember that.
It was a different style with each person.
Yeah.
And he was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really wish that he was still around. I don't think he does anything anymore.
Huh.
But
I ain't
and
heard
if he
nothing.
does, I haven't heard anything either. And Jordan Cage is another one.
Mike McNeese.
Yeah, I mean,
I remember him as Mike McNeese at
Yeah.
a few shows up here.
referee Mike.
Yeah, referee Mike.
Yeah.
But then he was also wrestling and wearing the kind of like the skin tight shirt and the fancy pants, and then goes away for a short, or at least from MWA.
Yeah.
Or so-
He worked for Full Impact Pro for a long time too.
Yeah. Okay.
And Ring of Honor, he did some shots for Ring of Honor. Not anything full time with Ring of Honor, but he was when they were working with FIP.
Yep.
Is when he went to Ring of Honor and did that stuff. But he's great in the ring, and why isn't he wrestling?
Exactly.
Picture
Because,
perfect.
Some guys just fall out of
Picture
love. with
perfect.
the-
Jordan Cage.
It's like Owen Hart. Owen Hart loved wrestling, but he was too good at wrestling. So it wasn't really his first love. He was basically could have left wrestling altogether, and it wouldn't have affected him at all because he's so good at it.
Yeah, I did a great angle with Jordan Cage at Pro Wrestling Freedom. We did Pro Wrestling Freedom, if you're not aware, is owned by a guy named John Bullard who owns Chicagoland Championship Wrestling.
Okay. Yeah.
Wasn't he Johnny Rock up there? in
Yeah, he was
Georgetown?
he was Johnny Rock at UWF.
He also helped run Pro Wrestling Freedom too.
Now he was the owner.
Owner. Yeah. Run. Same difference.
Yeah, he did great with it. But I did a thing with Jordan Cage there,
Yep.
and it was great because his father just passed away.
Mm.
And my thing was I always like to make everything personal. You know, like promos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I attacked his dead father
Mm.
on a promo. And he was cool with it.
Personal issues draw money.
Yeah. And I said to him one night, I said, your mother was such a skank that and your father was so embarrassed by you and your mother that he fell over dead in the grave. And people in the crowd goes, because they knew what happened, and they were like, "Oh no, you shouldn't have said that." And here comes Jordan Cage, and he gets on me. He doesn't get any shots on me yet because here comes Cash Flow, who I was managing.
Yeah.
He comes up from behind him and boom, bips him, and stops him from getting to me and everything. So, but he eventually did get me at the end of the deal.
The program.
Yeah, gave me the fuzzy 8x10, which is the sit-out pile driver leaning on the ropes. It's like, boom, you got the guy draped over the rope, you jump up and you give him a pile driver back down.
Yep.
Gave me that, and when he gave me that, roof came off the place.
Yeah.
And I was so proud of that.
Yeah, that was a great gimmick.
Yeah.
Great angle.
Yeah, it was. It really was.
Angles.
And I don't have it on tape. Or DVD. We're doing DVD. We were doing WWN live pay-per-views back then.
Yeah.
And I don't have any record of it. And so
Which it does suck because if they weren't calling you Mark, you would have been able to have someone film that for you with your camera.
Yeah.
And you would have had that footage for yourself personally to enjoy every night.
Or I would have, bought the DVD and all that
Yep.
stuff because he would give it to us on deals. He would cut us
Yep.
deals on them since we were on on the show and all that stuff.
Yep.
Worked with managed Abyss one night against Brian Christopher at a fair show for USWF, and don't have any record of that.
Yeah.
I got a picture of Brian Christopher. Got a picture of me with Abyss.
You mean the blueberry?
Yeah. No, he was Abyss at that point.
I know. I'm just.
But don't have any record of that. My I had bushwhackers twice. Wrestled bushwhackers twice. No video.
Which sucks
we
because
get to meet. Yeah.
we no longer got Brian Christopher with us.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Oh, there
And
was.
shout out to Abyss working for Chris Parks.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to go by. Working for WWE.
You know what?
As a backstage angle, and they've got a great talent with him.
Abyss and Chris Harris never changed when they made it. They treated me still like their brother.
Yeah.
They treated me the same every week. Every time I saw them after that and everything, they've always been the same person to me every single time, and I appreciate that. The Brian Christopher match, that was the only time that I ever personally worked with him. I didn't wrestle. I was managing Abyss against him. But we did a thing where, and it was total accident. I think it was an accident. I got stripped legitimately naked.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
Yeah, at a fair show.
Chained to a cage? Oh, okay.
No, we were doing
I remember
a thing.
those gimmicks.
We were doing a thing. I got up. He bipped Abyss around. Abyss, takes the powder out. I come in. I want to fight you, Brian Christopher. Blah blah blah. Me and you're going to have a fight right now and everything. I take my shirt off. I had a jacket on, and then I had a button-up shirt, and then so it was hot.
Yeah.
I had a T-shirt underneath all that.
Right.
I take my jacket off. I'm taking this button-up shirt off. Boom. I take the T-shirt off, pull up over my head and everything. I'm sitting here like this and everything, and I'm looking at him, and he's coming at me, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to scurry up this turnbuckle to get away from him. I go to scurry up the turnbuckle. He grabs me by the back of the pants. I think he's only got my pants. But he's got my pants and my underwear.
Oh shit.
And he goes, yank. And then here I am. Well,
Bobby in the slide. Waving in the wind.
and it's a fair
His
show.
light switch.
Worse.
It was
His light switch was flying.
It was a fair show. and there's families there, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I immediately gathered up my clothes as quickly as possible, and because they only had the crowd on one side of the ring in the grandstands, so I had to go to the opposite side of the ring where there was no crowd and get dressed while the match was going on and still interfere in the match. And I don't have none of that on tape.
Man,
That would have been great.
I would have
though,
liked to
they
have
had-
seen the match. Could have done without seeing you naked,
Yeah.
but
That was
you
the
know.
best part of the show.
I believe it.
That's funny.
I'm sure it was.
That's great.
It
That was
probably,
a great
it
story.
probably popped the older fans. when
Well,
that
I
was
mean,
there.
I couldn't believe it. I was in such shock because I didn't realize what had happened until I was up there, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, oh my god, oh my gosh!"
A light switch.
And the fact that you were on the top turnbuckle too.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
and
yeah.
I looked at Brian Christopher, and he was like, and I looked over at Abyss, and Abyss has got his Abyss mask on and everything,
Yeah.
and he's like, you can see his eyes were like really wide and everything. And
Oh,
I'm
wow.
I almost expected Brian Christopher to do his crazy laugh they do on 97 shows.
like, oh no.
That's funny. That's some funny shit right there.
But yeah, I mean, there's like so much stuff and so much footage that's just lost to time now.
Yeah. yeah.
And that sucks because we all worked so hard. You know, we worked hard on the shows. We worked hard getting them ready. We worked hard, doing the traveling and stuff like that. At that time, though, it had slowed down quite a bit.
Well,
But-
I want to say, since please keep putting stuff on YouTube like that because,
Yes, sir.
I go back and watch stuff all the time, and and you got so much on your YouTube channel.
I love the class.
Guys, if y'all out there and y'all want to watch some of the old indie wrestlers around Kentucky, check out Bobby Blade's YouTube channel. He's got a great YouTube channel, and he doesn't get enough credit for it.
I appreciate that.
And please keep putting stuff on there, because
Daphne says, say
you
something
said.
about Fozo.
if you don't put it on
Michael
there,
Payne.
if you don't put it on there, like the stuff that you've put on YouTube right now could have been lost to everybody
Exactly.
already. Like,
Yeah.
and you have that stuff, and I don't think anybody else is putting it on there. So you're doing a service for everybody. Thank you
Yeah.
very
Yes,
much.
you are.
Exactly.
I,
Thank you.
I appreciate that. I mean, I appreciate you guys recognizing me for
Oh,
that.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'll get to Fozo here in just a second because it was a good
He's got something.
No, I don't. It's not really like something. It's a good memory.
Yeah.
There was one guy that was taking my footage off of my YouTube channel,
Yeah,
and
he-
he was uploading it to his own, and he was changing the music because when I try to keep everything as complete as possible because I
Right.
want people to have the as complete as an experience as possible, as it was back in the day. He was taking it off of there, and he's at the point now where he can start monetizing videos. I can't monetize mine, and I don't want to. I just want people to see the shows.
Right.
So I'll leave the music alone, all the entrance music and all that stuff. I'll leave it in there, unless the YouTube comes in and blocks the video for some kind of song. Then I'll just, mute that song completely out, so
Yeah.
I'm able to get the thing on there. But I can't monetize the videos because of the music, and I would never think about doing that.
Right.
Because I just want people to see and remember the shows.
Yeah.
This guy, he's at the point where he can monetize because he's got enough subscribers and he gets enough views and everything. And he was taking the videos off of my channel and changing the music so he can monetize them. And I'm like, ugh. And then I look every so often to see if he's taking anything else of mine, because every time he does, I shoot him a message and say, good, blah, blah, blah. And, pretty much.
Hey, stop doing that, because we're gonna report your ass, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sir.
jackass.
Well, the thing is I go up a couple days ago and his YouTube channel's gone.
Okay. Because they knew what he was doing.
Well, he had some WWF stuff on there too.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking,
WWE are definitely.
yeah, what I'm thinking is it came up in their what am I looking for?
Copyright?
Yeah, copyright thing, and they probably got him. So
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Justice was served.
We
Yeah.
do that. We do that a lot. And when we go to all the local shows, and we'll take little snippets of the wrestling, but usually what we do is try to do fan reactions and stuff, because we don't want to put we'll put over their wrestling, like just little snips of it, but we're not going to go down there and film a whole match and put it on our YouTube or anything like that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to let everybody know that we're not doing that kind of. We'll take a little snippet from like a wrestling match, like somebody come off the top rope, just to give a promo and put it in a reel or something. But we're not coming down to y'all's wrestling promotions, and we're not filming y'all's matches. We come down there for the fan experience, and then to interact with the wrestlers, and then to have the wrestlers come on the show and put them over.
That's
so
right.
We don't want to steal any of your, because those guys work so hard to put on a production, and down at KPW, down at Gen Next, down at in New South, we're not trying to steal any of your matches. So I just want everybody to know that.
Yeah.
And I do have footage of Big Dossman's retirement.
Oh, he retired?
Yep.
Did he?
I want to have him on the show. I've
Splash.
asked him. I think he has a construction company or something he's really busy with right now. I've asked him to come on the show, and he said I think when he cools down from his construction, because summertime is big construction time.
Yes.
Hopefully he'll come on the show and we'll talk about his retirement.
Yep.
Yeah, he was. I've met him very few times, but every time I've seen him, he was always really nice to me.
Yeah.
I've yet to actually sit down and talk to him, meet him yet, but
I met him.
I met him.
He actually
At
talked
the,
he did send me a message and said, "Why did you have Scott Diamond on and not me?" And I was like,
yeah.
"We're gonna have you on, buddy."
the last show.
Because they kind of have a little heat with each other. It's
The last
cool.
KPW show that I went to, he talked to me outside like I was one of the boys.
Oh, yeah.
Saying, "Where's your brother at?"
Yeah.
I told him Fandil's in Mexico. He said,
That's cool.
And then later on he said, "So you gonna let him talk to you like that? You better get your brother on him."
So everybody loves Fandito.
Oh, Fozo Fury.
Yep.
Fozo Fury, he was setting up for his last match. This is several years ago at UWF. He was going to have his last match. He made it known it was going to be his last match. It was like the final curtain match or something like that is what they called it, or final stand or something like that. And he wanted it against Tuffy with me as the referee. So that's 3 of the 4 original members for Lone Wolf Enterprises, which is the group that I used to manage.
Yep.
I managed.
Who was the
a guy named Dragon? Well, he was the other member. But me and Fozo Fury and Tuffy, I was a referee. They were wrestling each other, and basically what it was 20 minutes of hilarity. I mean, it was just us 3 guys having fun with each other one last time. And Michael Payne, which was Fozo Fury, he was phenomenal in that match. We couldn't stop laughing at him. We couldn't stop laughing at Tuffy. Well, you can't stop laughing at Tuffy anyway. Couldn't stop laughing at me. I was having a great time. And because we were all having a good time and 3 friends working together for the last possible time with each other, the crowd saw that we were having a good time, and they had a good time because we were enjoying ourselves. And that's the main thing, making sure the crowd is entertained because you're having fun,
Exactly.
And that was great. I'll never forget that. And I don't know if he has that on tape or anything like that. Tape, like I'm 150 years old, but I don't know if he has it on video or anything like that. But I would love to get a copy of that match or that entire show. He said he thinks he might have it. Michael Payne said this,
right?
And he said he thinks he might have it. He was going to look for it, and if he does have it, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it and get his permission to put it up and everything.
That sounds good.
Yeah, that's one of my things, man. Is I like
Shout out to Michael Payne.
Yes.
Shout out to him.
One of my
I've
things is,
had the privilege to meet him a handful of times. To me, personally, class acts.
Yep.
Him and his wife, girlfriend, I'm not sure what they are, Sabrina.
Yep.
Great people.
Yep.
Tuffy, man's man, firefighter, paramedic.
And the man that gave him trauma.
Hey, stop it. I'm telling the story. I have a Tuffy story, but MWA would sometimes do what's called a fantasy camp. Where you pay a certain amount of money to do 1 day of training with the guy. You don't get special treatment. They don't take it easy on you. At least they didn't with me. You got there early. You helped set up the ring. I did that. We were doing a lot of things, but I don't know that specific day. I think we were done doing the most part. We were just going to spend our time training, but it was we were goofing off, so to speak. Tuffy goes, "Hey man, come over here." He called me over there to the corner. I still have nightmares about this. He goes, "Do you want to trade
Wow.
chops?" I said, "Let me teach you how to chop." I said, "Okay. Is there a special? Do I need to cut my hand? Do I need to keep it flat? Whatever." He goes, he stood in the corner with his chest stuck out. He goes, "Just put your hand right across here." I did that. My hands felt like no big loud clap sound.
Yeah, just a thud.
Yeah, just a thud. That's what it sounded like. He goes, "Okay, now I want to try." So I said something really stupid. Sure. I got in the corner. He did it. I had my shirt on because, no one wants to see me without a shirt on. Trust me. He takes my shirt, puts it over my head.
Oh my God! You didn't see it coming.
Nope. And I'm sitting there like I'm in the corner. I'm grabbing hold of the ropes. I've got a death grip on those ropes because I ain't going nowhere because I know it's coming. I don't. Maybe I'm hearing something.
And you got your shirt over your head.
I got my shirt over my head, so I ain't going nowhere. I'm in the corner. Obviously, everybody's working on different things in the ring training. Everybody stops what they're doing. I didn't find out till after the fact because my shirt was over my face, but everybody stopped what they were doing. Casey Chaos was in his training. So was Jimmy Felcher, Jimmy Clough. But they get Tuffy. I didn't realize that if he gets a wild hair up his ass sometimes, he'll take his hand, lick his hand, get it as wet as possible before he chops you.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
He chopped me. I let loose.
Squeal like a bitch.
Oh no, I didn't just squeal. I was sitting there. I don't know why when I get slapped on the back real hard or something, me jumping up and down to take it pain away. I was jumping down yelling, "Oh!" I was letting a spew of. And Tuffy had his oldest son.
Bobby's loving this.
Yeah, I love it.
Tuffy had his
I love
oldest
the torture
son.
story.
Tuffy had his son there with him, who was probably like 5 or 6 at the time.
Braxton?
Braxton.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name, but if it's his oldest son, yeah. Braxton.
Yeah.
My God. I let loose a spew of profanities that I'm not going to say, but a lot of them were the F word. A bunch of times, like probably in a good 20 minutes. Tuffy's there, like looking like he just, proud of me. His handprint was on my chest for 2 damn weeks after that.
Oh wow, that's funny. That's
That's
great.
where the trauma comes from.
And then
great.
I went to the show. Like the training was on Monday, late Labor Day, 2003.
Yeah.
The show was the next day, Tuesday. So, and I paid to get the VIP treatment, so during intermission got to go back out and meet the wrestlers. Tuffy,
Because you gotta do that whenever you're doing a Tuffy impersonation.
yeah, he's like, "Come on, let me see it." No, he's like, I had to, because I just come from work and I had to wear a button-down shirt, so I was like, and he's looking at it like a proud papa, like his son just got the big fish at the fishing
Yeah.
thing that day.
Oh.
He's looking at me, Scott Diamond, what's up, brother?
What's up, Scott
Thanks for
Diamond?
tuning in.
Diamonds are forever, baby.
He's looking at me, he's like, yep, just, bam, just, he's like, he's showing it to everybody. We have Wildcat was in town from TNA. He's like, hell, Wildcat, check this out. Yeah, that's me.
That's great.
Bobby's looking at me. He's like, Wildcat's looking at me. He's like, are you stupid? Wanting to take one of those? I'm like, I guess so.
I tell you, man, Tuffy is the strongest guy in the world.
Yep.
I mean,
I
he's,
can tell.
he's my height, but he is the strongest person that ever lived.
And his chops,
Yeah.
from what I hear, are the
I
strongest
was helping him
chops.
set up the ring, and
one other guy that I'm aware of that I've been in the ring with had stronger chops, and that was a guy named Suicide, who I actually ended up teaming with in NDX Near Death Experience. It was me, a 3-man team, me, Angel, and Suicide, and Suicide had monstrous chops. I mean, he would.
Damn.
Whew.
Could you imagine a chop battle between him and Tuffy?
Oh my gosh, no, I couldn't. I think they might have been around different times. So I think Suicide was on his way out when Tuffy was on his way in. Man, golly.
Talk about both men inside their primes.
Yeah.
The strong ass chop.
Oh my gosh.
Nope, I don't want to think about that.
Jeez.
Throw in guys
I
like
couldn't.
Zodiac and
Like after
Larry
that,
D.
I couldn't watch a Ric Flair match, even though it was a different. You know, Tuffy when he did it to me was an overhand chop.
Yeah.
Flair's always the backhand.
Yeah.
I just like nope, can't, nope.
Yeah.
And when Tuffy would top somebody and somebody would do a dramatic oversell, I'd be like, "Stop mocking what happened to me."
The trauma's still weird.
Yes.
It was still there.
It's
You-
still here today.
You mentioned Jimmy Felcher earlier.
Yeah.
And the only thing I'm going to say, and he doesn't want me to say this, he doesn't want me to bring it up or anything like that. Jimmy Felcher is the only person that Chris Hayes has ever thrown a chair at training.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
that was a heel move right there.
Yes.
I'll just leave it at that. Jimmy, if you're watching, man, yeah, you should have ducked.
Hey, so
I remember
Bobby,
that. I remember that story.
can I ask you? So we've been on here almost 3 hours.
Are you
Good
serious?
Lord.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
255. Can I get you to do cut a heel promo against the podcast?
Oh, geez, I'm way out of practice.
It's okay.
If you don't want to do it, you can practice for a couple weeks and then come back and do it again.
I might have to do that. I'm way out of practice. Plus, I can't do my voice because I used to do a regular gravelly voice.
Yeah.
I can't do that anymore.
You can't do that voice anymore?
I start coughing like crazy.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna start off what
Okay,
you would do.
we'll
when-
challenge you in a few weeks. When we'll have you back on in a few weeks if you want, because this is just an awesome show, and
Yes, it
I'd
is.
love for you to come back on again. And I'd love to have you on here with Scott Diamond too, or maybe
That'd be great.
Oh,
maybe,
together?
Yeah, together.
Yeah.
Maybe we can have some guys like that on together. Like maybe if you want to find somebody that you used to wrestle and come on and have a podcast with sometime, we'll
Yeah,
do that
we shall
sometime
see.
too.
That'd be
Yeah,
great.
my thing is I haven't cut a promo. Haven't cut a heel promo
Yeah.
in at least
4 years.
no longer than that.
Really?
Yeah, because when
6 years.
I came
You came back.
I
You was a
was-
face.
Yeah,
Pretty much. Yeah.
2014.
Oh,
last time?
8
No.
years.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the
okay.
last- that was
So
the
I'm
last time.
challenging you. I'm challenging you to do that for us sometime.
I will definitely do it, but I mean, I might not be able to produce it tonight. But once I get the ball rolling,
yeah.
I'll be good to go.
Yeah.
Wait,
Excuse
Scott,
me.
I had
Scott,
to
if you're
stop.
still watching, I'd love to have you and Bobby Blade on the same episode if that's possible.
I love that, Scott.
I had to
you and
do
Bobby.
that. I had to do that.
Yeah, I used to start the promos off doing "Excuse me,"
Yeah.
like that, and then Vicky Guerrero started doing it on TV.
Oh
Vicky
yeah.
stole your move.
Yeah, and I've got that on video with a date stamp in the corner and everything,
Awesome.
saying
That
when
was-
I was doing it. But the problem is, though,
Did you work with her, or did she
No.
just see you somewhere doing that?
no, she just
No,
she
she
just
did
started
it on
doing
her
it.
own.
Oh, so she
Because-
just started doing it herself.
Yeah, and
They
then,
were
and the
wanting her
thing
to
is-
cut a promo, but she was getting booed so loud. She
Yeah.
was just like,
Excuse me.
excuse
Yeah.
me, and it's just stuck.
Excuse me. I remember her doing that.
So
yeah.
so the thing is,
And I think I remember you doing it too.
yeah, I mean,
Oh, Bobby.
I might have done it longer,
Yeah.
but she did it on TV.
Yeah.
So if they see her doing it on TV,
Yeah, she did
they're
it
going to
first.
think that I'm the copycat.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and I'm like, well,
when it's the other way around.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I've got to
Yeah.
like, okay, I got to change my thing now.
Yeah.
So that's why I
prefer
stopped.
yours.
Austin Diamond
I
said,
prefer yours.
Well, I appreciate that.
"Oh, Austin Diamond, Bobby Blade turning down a promo. I'm shedding tears.
Dude,
He didn't turn it down. He's just gonna delay it
He's
for
getting a
because
continuance.
he don't want to do
I
nothing
can't wait.
half-ass.
Yeah, definitely. Because the thing is
And he hasn't been heel for a while.
yeah, I haven't
Oh,
I haven't been heel since 2014. I haven't
Mm.
cut an actual promo, babyface or heel, since
28.
2018.
Yeah. He
And-
said I'll arrange it under one condition. You must see the handshake one more time.
Yes, the handshake
You-
must happen.
You and Scott have a handshake.
It's the Mega Powers handshake.
Oh, okay.
Except we go all the way down to the ground with it.
Oh, okay.
But the last time I did it though, is my knees are shot now, so I
Yeah.
can't get. If I get down too low, I'm not going to be able to get back up.
We'll help you back. We'll have a spotter
It's
for
okay.
you.
It's okay. Scott will help you. He'll muscle you up, back up.
I don't. We shall see.
Yeah.
Scott's kind of wore out too. He's on his farewell.
He's
tour,
going
as
to
he
retire
says.
in January, right? Is what he
Yep.
said?
Something. Yeah.
I think so. I think he said he's going to retire in January.
He's going to leave the
And his
boots in the
son,
ring.
is going to carry on the legacy.
Yeah, he just had his first match in Wayne,
Yep.
West Virginia there.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he won his
And he
first
won.
match too.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah. Shout out to Austin Diamond.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
Shout
Well,
out
y'all
to
want to
Diamond.
keep on talking, or y'all want to call it a quits tonight?
It's up to y'all.
I could call it a day. I gotta be at work.
Gotta work.
At
I gotta
7:30
work too in the morning. So we'll call it quits, and we'll definitely have you
And
back
we'll
on
take
Bobby
a
Blade.
rest.
Definitely,
And
Bobby.
everybody, check out Bobby Blade, Lone Wolf Bobby Blade's YouTube channel, and
In quotations,
in
the lone
quotations.
wolf part.
Yes.
and he doesn't plan on monetizing it. So just kind of give him some comments and feedback and
Subscribe.
and subscribe to
Please.
it because he's worked hard on that YouTube channel and
Send him love.
so and he's putting out good quality stuff over there, and he's making like a history lesson to you guys.
Yes.
So
Well, some of it's good, some of it's bad, and I always make sure I tell everybody that too.
Yeah.
So. But I want to put everything up that I possibly can.
yeah,
so.
exactly. He's going to keep on doing it.
We
We're
appreciate
going to
it.
keep encouraging him to come on, and hopefully Bobby can come on a regular basis because we'd love to have you on, Bobby. as a regular,
Yes.
like
I
a
had
regular.
fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hopefully.
And Bobby
That-
Blade
that's
is
what
a
we
former 7-time MWA. I'm doing it. Light heavyweight champion
Yeah.
and a former 10-time MWA tag team champion
The chair.
with multiple partners.
That's right.
Yes. Let's see.
The owner, proprietor, master motivator, master dictator of Lone Wolf Enterprises. I'm probably butchering that. It's been a while since I've heard it.
Well, I've actually changed that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I changed because the old intro I did of myself was, I am a former 7-time light heavyweight champion. I am a former 10-time tag team champion with multiple partners. I'm the proprietor, creative consultant, and master I almost forgot it. Master motivator for Lone Wolf Enterprises. I'm the man, the myth, the living legend, a true old school icon. I am Lone Wolf Bobby Blade, and I changed it because that part had pretty much ran its course. So I changed it. If in case you don't know me, allow me to introduce myself. I'm the meanest, cheatingest, chokingest, eye-pokingest, crotch-kickingest, your mama stickingest, spitting on babies, smacking old ladies, one-man domestic disturbance call, the man, the myth, the living legend, a true old-school icon, and the man you paid to see. I am Lone Wolf Bobby Blade.
And that's
Yes,
a promo
sir.
that he just cut too.
Wow, that's awesome.
You still got it.
Yep,
Yeah.
you still got it.
Thank you for taking time to entertain Austin Diamond tonight, Bobby. Great to listen to you as always. Good Lord.
Everybody that tuned in tonight, thank you guys for
Thank
watching.
you.
We had a lot of people watch tonight. I think
And
we
a
had
lot of fun.
We had
Just-
Omega started following us tonight. Bobby Blades. Scott Diamond's been watching. Austin Diamond's been watching, and who can tell whoever else has been watching us tonight, guys, and all
We
the
love
regular
everyone.
guys. Thank you guys for watching us tonight. We appreciate you.
Yes.
And Bobby Blade, thank you for coming on the podcast and giving us some great stories, and we really appreciate you. And we do want you back, and hopefully we can come on and have maybe you and Scott Diamond can come on
Yes.
together, and
I would love that.
I'd like
Yeah.
to see y'all do that handshake.
That would
right
be
before
awesome.
we start the podcast.
would be so
We'll
awesome.
be
And
surrounding
on it.
you to help you get up. Both of you.
You might need a crane because my belly's a little bit. My belly's just a little big.
I mean, my belly's big too.
is anybody want to say anything before we get off here?
All I gotta say is, we appreciate Lone Wolf Bobby Blade being on the podcast tonight. We appreciate our host, Nice Guy Andy. We appreciate our co-host, the Wrestling Encyclopedia,
That's right.
Sean Johns. Stay nice, everybody.
I want to thank everybody for in the comments on YouTube, Twitch, Trovo, everywhere else. everybody in the comment, thank you, Bobby, for coming in. We've hung out at shows, cut up a lot of times, and especially on Facebook. We've never really got a chance to sit in the same room and really tell stories and sit under your learning tree. I appreciate you to no end. I appreciate you coming in. I really do. Shout out to Andy. Shout out to Johnny Lee. Thank you guys for building me up and helping me out with this. That's a personal thing for me on that.
You're welcome.
Everybody in the comments, I love you guys. Austin, Matthew Taylor, Unc, and everyone on the podcast, much love to you. Thank you, Matthew Taylor. It's Andy's nephew.
Yep, my nephew. He's a
Daphne,
Twitch guy.
thank you for tuning in. And everybody else, stay nice.
As always.
Much love. Bobby Blade, you got anything to say?
Yes, I do. I appreciate you guys having me on and everything. It makes me feel great to be remembered and feel like I'm appreciated for my contributions. I didn't have a lot of contributions. I kind of did, but I kind of didn't. But
You're still contributing.
And also, you still got the ability to cut promo.
You still got it. You still got
I
it.
just need to get it back
You
up
still
in here.
got it.
You
But,
still got it.
I appreciate you guys having me on, treating me like gold and everything like that.
Oh,
I
of course.
appreciate all of you guys for remembering me.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Yes, sir.
you do not understand how an older guy that's no longer in the business, how good it makes him feel to be remembered. And the response that I got at the New South show by the people, the response that I've gotten here, the response that I've gotten on Facebook when I post these old pictures, and the comments that I get on my YouTube channel and everything means the world to me. And I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for remembering.
Yeah. And Bobby Blaze, you're a great ambassador for the Kentucky wrestling.
I gotta
guys
disagree
around
with you
here,
on something.
we
You just said
appreciate
you
it.
didn't have many contributions. You may not think so, but just the fact that everybody remembers you, that's your contribution.
And you're still putting
still
stuff out there for
contributing
us, and you're still in, like,
stuff
you're
on the
not
video.
might not be in the ring, but you're still putting stuff on the YouTube, and you're still contributing to
Yep.
wrestling, Kentucky wrestling, and we really appreciate that. And
You're still giving back.
maybe you can't be in the ring, but you can be like on this side with us. You know,
Like
Yes,
like
sir.
how we do. We also give back to Kentucky wrestling
Yep,
and also to the legends that came before.
yep.
yeah.
And that's what you're all about.
All right, guys. Much love to everybody out there. You want to plug your YouTube, plug your Facebook?
Lone Wolf Bobby Blade on YouTube. Lone Wolf is in quotation marks. I would greatly appreciate a subscription. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm not on there much. I'm on Instagram, NDX Blade. I'm on Facebook as Bobby Blade, and I think that I'm on TikTok, but I don't post any TikToks.
Yeah.
I just watch dog videos and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. So we're on Facebook at NiceGuyAndy podcast. Check us out. Please follow us, and Andrew Watkins on Facebook. That's me. NiceGuyAndy.
John's on Facebook.
Sean John's on Facebook. We got Superfan Johnny Lee on
Snowden
Facebook.
on Facebook.
And what is it? Jonathan Snowden. Johnny Snowden.
Yes, Lee Johnny Snowden.
Lee Johnny Snowden on Facebook.
Yep, and my brother's name is Jose Dito on Facebook.
And guys, go to the Fandito page and follow it, please. We're trying to build that this Fandito page on Facebook, and the Nice Guy Nation
Boo, screw
group.
that guy.
Nice Guy Nation group on Facebook, and check out Johnny Lee's Twitter too.
Yes,
Okay.
very much.
Check
Very
out
appreciate it.
Super Fandito's YouTube. It's great.
It's
so
gross. It's a good
It's so
boo. It's
funny.
Hey,
gross.
stop that.
All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Peace and.